And welcome y'all to Conversations with Dean. I am Dean. Listen, last week, I was interviewing the homie Big Dave, Choke 'em Out Dave. Now, Dave was supposed to be here with us this week, but he wasn't able to make it. But don't worry, he'll be back. Y'all ain't got trip on that. Now, listen, I told y'all. Now, remember when I told y'all how Joey Diaz says, if you got Jews behind you, you can never go wrong. And if you got Italians behind you, you can never go wrong. Well, listen here, motherfuckers. I got one who's half and half. He's destined to control the motherfucking world, dog. And he's here to help give you some motherfucking numbers and some motherfucking facts. Don't ask where he come from. Listen, he's come from a financial background. We gonna leave it be. Y'all don't understand the risk that y'all listen. My regular viewers, y'all understand the dungeon that is Conversations with Dean. I had to pull strings for y'all, son. I'm doing this for the people, son. He's coming into the dungeon for you. Listen, all you got to know is he works with numbers and he fixes numbers however you need them numbers fixed. We're going to leave it there, all right? His name is motherfucking Number Steve. Don't ask for no last name. He don't got a last name, dog. You know what I'm saying? Number Steve, we appreciate you for coming on into the dungeon as known as Conversation with Dean. What up, player?
Hey, Dean, appreciate it, man. As always, man. Been talking like this for many years.
Listen,
so now that I'm actually an adult, we're adults now. Now we're actually talking about legitimate stuff. So this is completely different.
Listen, for the background, people don't know. Listen, Number Steve, I can't give y'all too information because then y'all can find him. Just know that I've known Number Steve for a while. All right. And Number Steve is really good with fucking numbers since he was yay fucking high. I don't know why, but he is. And he decided to help you as well as me. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I could have had the joke, but we're not going to do that yet because we just started drinking. But we're going to be drinking this whole damn episode because I guarantee you it's going to turn wild. So listen, cheers. Now listen, before we get into that, we do have listen. This episode is fucking sponsored and brought to you by motherfucking JGA Tax motherfucking Services. Listen here, people. I'm sick and tired of telling you motherfuckers, stop using Intuit. Stop using TurboTax. You don't know what the hell you're fucking doing. Did you know about the child tax care credit? How it went from 16 to 17? And how you can go from getting, $2,000, $3,000, I believe now. Do you know about the American Home Rescue Plan they passed? That makes your first $10,200 in motherfucking unemployment tax deductible, baby. Did you know that? No, you didn't know that because you're not a fucking accountant. You ain't go to school. You ain't take no damn test. You ain't doing motherfucking thing. You don't even look up online how to do it. So how about you do yourself a favor? Call some motherfuckers who look like you. They black, they brown, they fucking Spanish. Whatever the fuck you need, they got. I'm telling you. You go ahead and give them a call. They can do everything encrypted. They can do it over the Zoom machine if you need, over the phone machine. Everything is going to be over the motherfucking secured line. I'm telling you, these people going to look out for you in your motherfucking pocket. So you do yourself don't even do me the favor. Do yourself the favor, you son of a bitch. And motherfucking call goddamn 631-542-2344. Once again, 631-542-2344. You make sure you tell them that fucking Dean and Lo sent you and you trying to go ahead and protect your paper and watch how they look out for you. And guess what? You're welcome, bitch. Now, the bills have been paid. Oh, what's up, son? We here now.
Yo.
Yeah. So listen, you're a numbers guy. You're good with numbers, you know. You're good dog. So I got to ask you, what do you think about this debauchery over Trump's tax returns? We have to get into it first off the rip. Let's just go there.
I know from the start, just being with the experience that I have and just seeing everybody. I deal with people who make not even $10,000 a year. I deal with people who are making several $100,000 a year, close to $1 million. So I kind of see it all. I mean, not too high of earning income, anything like that. But I deal with a lot of business people because I also do business tax for a lot of people, which I consider small businesses. But by definition, a small business is less than 500 employees. So I'm like, that's a little crazy to me because you think that's pretty big. Yeah, I mean, I consider something small, like 10 people, 10 to 100 even. I mean, but 500, that's a decent amount of people.
I have a question before we get on the Trump tax thing. Since we got there now, don't worry, I got that note down. But speaking about that small business thing, now that amazed me as well. So it's a small business. You have under 500 employees. Now, how many of those businesses was getting the small? Like, obviously, they qualify for small businesses. They got the small business loan, not even needing it.
Yep.
How? Can you explain? Like, how is it even cut at 500? Can you explain that to me? How is a small business?
That's like one of those things. Like, so there's a lot of things in tax that don't really make any sense, like the logic behind things. Right. Well, that's one of the things that it really doesn't make sense why it's 500, because you think that's relatively large. Like that will fill out like an office building.
Yes.
And you're going to consider that small. But I don't know what made them determine that. But the whole thing, why they got a lot of money, because they pay their money with accountants. So they jumped right on board as soon as they gave them the threshold of what's needed to actually get them. Those accountants were the first thing, even though they didn't need it. You didn't have to show that you needed it. You're just going to show, hey, this is what my payroll was. This is how much I'm paying employees. So they based that on 2.5 months of your payroll. So whatever the company payroll is, they were to give you 2.5 months of it. So, I mean, I can only imagine, let's say you have 400 employees, how much are you actually paying them? And how much of this PPP loan are you getting now? Because we're talking about big money. And that's why they had to do another round of it, because they ate it up so fast. Like there was millions of dollars going out to these people.
And of course, because it's like, okay, you're defined as a small business with, let's say, 375 employees. Mm-hmm. You're a small business, and you're taking it away from the spot who has like 15 employees who needs it because they're just breaking. Listen, the owners are breaking even. The only people getting paid in the equation are the workers in this in this venture at this present time. How do we get to this point? And why are more people not fighting? Like, I hate taxes. I hate the IRS. I hate the man. I hate these motherfuckers because they waste it. Listen, I had an episode where I was talking about $54 billion with Dave, actually. They had $54 billion in tax spending that is wasteful. We got like $32 million put in like trying to figure out why men's hair gray. Excuse me, why your hair grays during stress. Why people don't eat ground up bugs. What is going on, Steve?
I can't give you an answer for it. It's like there's not really much monitoring. For example, like I'm looking at something I looked at recently and I never did in my entire life is, since being from New York, kind of looked at what the state budget looked like the proposal and how the budgets are even laid out, what it looks like reading it. And it's just like how they come up with their spending even for themselves, like how much their salaries are and everything like that. I'm like, where are these numbers even coming from? And there's no one really regulating it, because once it passes, it's not really, no one's looking at it. No one's really looking at it. No one's like keeping them in check. Yeah.
The money has been allocated is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's already been allocated to it. So they're going to spend it towards that. And then like no one's the wiser, because when it comes to taxes, not many people think about how their tax money is really getting spent. When we talk about taxes, it's a lot of it's perspective for people. No one really cares about anybody but themselves when we're talking about taxes. Their current situation, what's benefiting my current situation, but they don't look at the entire picture. Now, so that's what I got to see.
Now, for people who are living in the hustle and bustle of it, can you please explain to these stupid motherfuckers like I have, please? Maybe they'll listen to you. You're the numbers guy. You know what it is. Can you explain to these dumb bastards? And I'm not talking to my loyal listeners. I'm talking to the motherfuckers who are trying to learn something and you keep fighting it. I'm telling you to go with it. Can you explain to them why going with the collective and understanding what your tax bracket is and then trying to do the best thing for you, your family, and others in your tax bracket is the correct move? Because we look at, and then you know what, it could tie into Trump's tax returns. Because, all right, people on the lower end of the spectrum, right? It's your middle class and your working class, right? Those are the backbones of this country. Because the rich are not, they're paying taxes, but they're skirting them bitches. They're paying people to get them out of paying that much taxes. And the lower class, they don't have any money to pay taxes. So the working class and the fucking and the middle class are the backbone of this fucking country. How is it that individuals like Donald Trump, you can run for office? Well, obviously you never had to show your taxes. But why is it, you as a numbers guy, why is he so afraid to just show his taxes to us? What's the issue? And don't get me wrong, I hate the IRS, I hate the man, but what I'm saying is, if you got nothing to hide per se, what's the holdup on it?
No, I see what you're saying there too, and that's what a lot of people are saying. That's the common theme. But who in reality ever wants their tax return put in public just to get analyzed? Regardless, it doesn't matter. It could be everything to the dollar. You have receipts for everything, but who really wants it to even just be put out there so it gets scrutinized even more? And there's like, and there'll be certain arguments, but him specifically, like there's such a broad term, like how to explain it in his situation, because I don't know everything he's got. So the one thing I want to start, I don't want to be technical. I want to be able to have everybody understand whether they own a business or they're just a W-2 employee working somewhere, and that's it. They collect it end of day, and that's all they know.
Right.
So there's different ways that businesses are structured. So his big thing, he's a businessman, right? So that's the one thing people got to consider. This is not like your regular politician that came to office where he didn't care if his tax return was really seen. There's not really all that much. Yeah, they make some money, but nothing crazy. Now we're talking about a business guy who has tons of investments, tons of different investments all over the place. And it really depends, like, are they successful or are they not successful? So on that note, there's different structures of businesses. And not to be technical, but there's one business that what we call a separate taxable entity. It's a C corporation. So that's kind of more of like your entity, it's standalone. That entity pays its own tax. So usually nothing flows to anybody there. That entity pays its whole tax, and it's based on a certain rate. And then most likely, if you own that corporation, you give yourself a W-2. That's how you pay. There's two other structures, is which my assumption is most of Trump's investments are in. So I'm thinking they're more partnerships or these LLCs type thing, or like his S corporation. So I'm thinking more he's on those partnerships. So the way this works for tax purposes. So he invests, let's say he put $1 million into this entity. It might not just be him as the only owner. Like he might only be 50%, and he brought his family and like the legacy and everybody, the trust and things like that. So if you invest $1 million into this business, the way it works with taxes at the end of the year, depending how that business do, like you file its own tax return, what was the net income from that business at the end of the day? So if it's a positive income, that gets allocated to all the partners, and 9 times out of 10, all the taxes got to get paid on your personal tax return. So if you're showing income from this business, let's say it was just 30,000 to make it easy, it all flowed to Trump. Trump would have to pay tax on that $30,000. So, a lot of states, sometimes you pay tax in the state just completely separate from that, but we're just going to talk about federal because the viewers can be all over the place and they might not have to deal with any type of state tax.
Right.
So I can only imagine how many investments Trump actually has. So if you invest that money, let's say he invests that money, $1 million, and it just went kaput. The company dissolved. It was a bad investment. It was done. That $1 million is now a write-off for him. He gets credit because he was able to risk $1 million he invested. And now that the thing went belly up, he gets to write that off. And there's certain limitations where, like, can you take it all in the first year? Does it get spanned on how much of a loss you can take year after year?
Right.
So it's almost like a structure. Like for people who have a lot of money, you almost want to structure a bad investment to offset your good investments. So for an argument's sake, just let's say you have just 2 entities. And like I said, he had $1 million invested in one and it went belly up. He had another investment, let's say just not even from the investment. He invested $1 million and for some reason there was $1 million profit. So when it comes in on your tax return, the $1 million, they offset each other most likely. So that's down to 0. So that's why somebody like this would not have to pay like income taxes because of like things that are offsetting one another. But the biggest thing that we're seeing with
fucking amazing.
Yep.
So hold on. So like, all right. So like, let's break it down for the regular people. So like, how could someone just work in a regular 9 to 5? Like for instance, this podcast, how can I write off this shit for my podcast? How do I do that?
You remember when I was saying perspective? This is all perspective because you're only accustomed to what you've been in your life. Like if you only have a tax return with a W-2, that's it. Like that's all you know. So like you probably don't even know about these things that I'm talking about, like these investments. You get K1s. So it's more of like how to explain it for somebody like that. There's really not much you can do unless you're investing money elsewhere. Like you have it in a mutual fund account or managed by investment brokers. Like you have like Fidelity, Charles Schwab, all those people, Merrill Lynch. Like you invest money and then hopefully they grow your money. That's the whole point. They want you to grow the money because of course they make money off it. But then you're going to make more money.
But then how would that, so if I make a bad investment, right? Let's say I had like 2 G's or 3 G's in something, right? And boom, I lose the investment on the market. Could I use that in my tax returns to write it off?
In the market, so you're talking about just like stock market, like you're talking about things like that. Yeah, yes, most likely. But there's certain limits. Like so what I was talking about with Trump, and like I didn't want to be too technical, but there's a capital gain loss limitation. So if you sold stock at like a loss of $5,000, the amount that you can recognize each year is only $3,000. Like you cannot. Like, all right, so it prevents like abuse of the tax code and capital gains because you can just make an investment and just have it go belly up or invest in somebody you know is going to go down and then boom, like it could be a $10,000 loss, but you can only get 3 of it in each year going forward.
Didn't Joseph Biden just recently change something with the tax code and us in China? And all right, hold on, because all this stuff ties in together. It's because it all ties in together.
Uh-huh.
But all right. So let's I'll be a professional early on because I'm not twisted yet. So here's my question. So basically what you're saying is that because this is what it sounds like to me, right? Because Trump is a businessman, has so many investments, so much business going on. If he does release his tax returns, one, he's a businessman. No businessman wants their like no matter what, you're on the right or you're the left. You don't want to have your shit out there because that's just unnecessary and that's bad for business because now people know your price. You know how he's negotiating shit, right? So I get it. I get it.
What I'm telling you, it's just I'm being so general. I'm just being very because there's certain other things that could factor into it, but I'm just trying to give a broad overview. It's just he's in a different situation than all of us. He
came up as a New York realtor. Who knows where that money really came?
Because then it makes you think. All right, we're talking about income taxes specifically, right? So if he has all these entities, and then let's say it's getting managed by different people, he has all these CEOs of these companies, however he has them structured.
Right.
It's people gotta understand too. Yes, do you have that same argument? If this is how I pose this, would you have that same argument, right? I own a business, right? I only have 10 employees. And let's say I don't take any salary out for myself. And let's say I end up having zero income, just zero or a little bit of loss. Because I'm you know what? I didn't want to take a salary for myself. I paid all of my employees a decent amount of money. Are people going to have the same tone because I didn't pay income taxes because I decided to distribute it out to my employees, and now they're going to be responsible for their income taxes, but I paid it out to them. So what I'm trying to say is also Trump, if he has employees under there in those entities and he's paying them out, so that could be another reason why that income gets dropped down because he's paying all these employees out, which then still has income tax getting paid into the economy, into the government.
Donald Trump gives me Birdman vibes. Something tells me that he's always trying to get out of a contract, and something tells me that he doesn't really pay people right. I just don't trust that. Clip this. This is gonna be a clip.
I know. I know. I mean, that's a whole different argument. I just clip all right, is he a stand-up guy? Is he gonna be paying what they deserve? I mean, that's a whole nother argument.
Oh my gosh.
You have all these different things too to factor. We're talking about taxes, income specifically, but he has these properties, he has these hotels. He's paying real estate taxes probably up the ass. I mean, then that goes straight to the state. I mean, he's actually helping the states that he's in 9 times out of 10. I can only imagine. And there's certain things. I mean, he doesn't sell product, but sales tax. There's so many different types of taxes that he contributes to and helps out those employees. He contributes into payroll taxes. So just because his income is nothing doesn't mean there's no other taxes being paid. And there could be losses that he sustained.
Absolutely.
Losses,
and we're not
operating losses.
And we're not saying that he's his income is zero. What we're saying, people, is this is just how you offset shit and how you get rich and protect your shit. So you said something. I wanna ask before we get into this other stuff. Now, I'm talking about taxes, and we have these politicians, right? And then you have organizations like ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council, where you're putting corporations and you're putting politicians in the same organization, and they're even in some cases submitting bills on the behalf of the organization without even taking out the ALEC name out of it. It just says present bill here, yada yada yada. That's how lazy people do it sometimes, right? How are these politicians, you had Nancy Pelosi, worth millions of dollars? Mitch McConnell worth millions of dollars. Lindsey Graham worth millions. How are these people worth all this money? And they haven't been caught yet. How are they hiding this in this? Because it can't be fucking, there's no way possible that these people who just start out as regular politicians become they become fucking extremely wealthy. How do they hide this, Steve? Break it down.
Just so you know, if I knew exactly how they did it, I would not be sitting here right now. I would be up there. I'd be up there too. I'll be up in the White House. I'll be having my feet up on the desk. I mean,
you savage. Well, you better fucking give me the keys at least. You know what I'm saying? I need the keys. I need the keys. I gotta help.
Yeah, but this is why they spend, like, for the viewers here too. It's just like people who don't want to spend for an account. Like, this is why you spend that money. These people who really know those loopholes. Like, I'll be even honest. It's like, I never really had to deal with earners. Like, we're talking about 10, 20, 30, $100 million. I don't ever deal with people like that. So like, I'm not really accustomed to those loopholes that they find, but just moving money around, and they flirt with those gray areas, but they also know that they are under scrutiny no matter what, because they hold a politician position. They're in Congress. So it's make sure like they still got to be clean, but it's like, how do they get the money that they hide it a little bit when people feed into campaigns? It's like how all the allegations, like you see with like DeSantis when they were talking in Florida about the Publix giving them money to get the vaccine out there and kind of making them push it all out there. It's like, this is how like this money starts coming up.
Can we bring all right, let's talk about that public shit. So can you break that down exactly what was happening? So because he's being accused of basically having a pay for play operation with the vaccines. Could you break it down? What was actually do you know what was happening with that?
So I followed it a little bit, and what it seemed like, even like I forgot exactly who invited him. I'm not sure if it was West Palm Beach or Pompano Beach. I'm not sure if it was the mayors there. Right. They actually invited him down because I think their whole point is like, how do we get this vaccine out there more? Like, and Publix has a huge footprint down there in Florida. So
now, what is now for the people? Publix is a corporation.
It's a supermarket. It's literally a supermarket.
Oh, okay.
So it's a supermarket. They got they got pharmacy in it. It's just how they do that. And trust me, everybody down in Florida, if there's anyone watching in Florida, they'll be looking at you like you're crazy. Like if you even ask that question, because they
I got you. That. So basically, Publix is like their Walmart.
Yeah. Actually, no, it wouldn't be selling all of what Walmart does, like TVs and stuff like that. But it would be like your very nice supermarket where it has everything you possibly really want from.
I got you. I hear you.
Yeah, for the viewers that are in Florida, you love your pub subs. So that's the one thing they'll know about.
Oh, right. I hear you. Shout out to the Florida viewers. We appreciate you. Crazy bastards.
So what I'm hearing, it's just like, did you see that video of him going off too? Again, I'm not sure who the reporter was asking questions.
I saw both videos. I saw the one that 60 Minutes produced, and then I saw the unedited one. So that's what I was trying to figure out. Now, he said that he was having conversations with different counties, and like I was, what's up with it?
So I don't know exactly when those conversations took place with the counties, but they were showing that he was getting like $25,000. I think he got paid twice in December of 2020. So I'm not sure when those conversations even started with Publix.
He got paid by Publix, they're saying?
Yeah, they're saying, basically, that they funded it. It's I'm not sure if it's the CEO of Publix or basically the ownership of Publix are paying it. Right. But what to say, like Publix is like a beloved place down there. So apparently what they're trying to say is that it was the pay to play to get him out there and basically help out Publix as well. But that wasn't the case. And they're saying that, I'm not sure if it's the mayors of whatever it was, West Palm Beach or Pompano, that invited him down there to see how we could get this vaccine out there. It's like they invited him. I'm not sure if you realize that they refuted the whole point what 60 Minutes was trying to do. It's just like, this is not what happened. Like, we invited him down here. It's like, it's not like he put it upon himself to do this, like his own agenda. Right. So like, I'm honestly going to say that I wouldn't know the facts 100%. I'm not going to be definitive on it, because when I don't know everything, I'm not going to act like I do. Yeah. But like, from what I'm saying is that, and then I haven't seen much conversation since that 60 Minutes about it, but there's still like that he did get money. Like that's a fact. Like you could say they show it that they contributed to his campaign, but they're saying it had nothing. Basically, Publix had to show like this had nothing to do with this vaccine. But how do you actually prove it? It's like, you know what I'm saying? I gave you money for your campaign, but not like kind of enticing you with the money.
That's how you skirt. Yeah. That's how they skirt the shit, because it's just donations to the campaign, which is then used for a litany of reasons.
Yes,
I mean, exactly. But then obviously, but then campaign money has to be used for the campaign. But then if you win or lose the campaign, those items are still owned by whoever had the campaign, correct?
Yep. So you can spend however. That's the whole thing. You're trying to spend it on campaign. So I mean, that's the whole point of it.
Right. So that's because you need it there.
It makes me think, and I try to think of it like in a step back, because people are so up in arms about the money and like what people's incentives are. But when we're talking about COVID and vaccinating people, and that's a goal for the country, it's like, why? Like, what's the pushback here? When I got the number of people they vaccinated through Publix, it was like over 1 million, I think. So it's like, what do you care about? Like, what's your actual care? Like, do you care that they're putting money in his back pocket? Even if that was the case, people are getting vaccinated because they open it up through Publix. They're basically saying, I think, that they weren't giving, like, I think the smaller pharmacies on the chance or something like that. It was almost like choking out the competition now, if I thinking about it right. Once again, and I can be corrected in the comments. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to stand by my comment. I'll happily admit, like, hey, wrong here.
Right.
But I think it was something along those lines. So I think it was more of like, you know what I'm saying now? So it's like, all right.
That's interesting. That's interesting as fuck. Because, but you know what though? I think here's the issue especially when you're dealing with individuals, with politicians and getting paid. Are the one thing that America doesn't like, or they need to not like more, excuse me, is how easily controllable politicians are by big corporations. And then you see what I'm saying? Because it's like in the case of a smaller pharmacy, you're fucked. You have no chance at this. You're not going to beat out Publix and whatever else the fuck what the shit they got going on. You know what I mean? Like it's a rough ride.
And do you want me? I'll strike a nerve with people. It's like they're feeling like that, choking out the smaller competition, things like that. Even if it's like CVS and them, or even talking about a mom and pop pharmacy, then you're buying from Amazon. You're choking out literally all your mom and pops around you.
Jeff Bezos makes so much. He's the richest man in the world. Like, well, they don't count those Saudi princes and shit over there. Mm-hmm. So he's the richest man in the world. But holy shit.
Yep. The pandemic. I don't even remember. Like I don't follow the stocks like that because it'll drive you crazy daily. But like I know it boomed. It boomed once we closed down, and it makes you think a little bit. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but you see, like,
I am.
Yep. But you see, like, all the money they were getting, everything. It's just like it's almost like monopolized at this point. But
and then which one does he own? The Wall Street Journal or New York Times?
Oh, that one I wouldn't know off the top of my head. Nope.
Does Jeff Bezos own the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times? Let's see what producer Siri has to say for this. Jeff Bezos buys the Washington Post. Yeah, it's interesting. So obviously media drumming up and stuff like that. It just makes you wonder about certain things. So, all right. So you answered that one for me. We'll get into the capital gains and the long-term and short-term capital gains later when we talk about that Biden tax code and what that's going to mean ramifications with us in China. But now we've talked about the Trump tax returns. So now, can we talk to these fucking people about the difference, especially now, the difference between the Obama, the Trump, and then the Biden tax plan? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on, Mr. Numbers?
I'm going to try to explain this where it kind of dumbs it down to hopefully where the viewers are like, the viewer situations are. Because, I mean, there's a stuff with business taxes and not many people are business owners probably and have to deal with that stuff. But, like, I'll just take it from, like, I have all my notes here, take it from one year to the next on how it was for Obama, then Trump, and then Biden. Right. So big things that always changed were tax brackets. So that was, like, the first thing. So the first change was, so I just want to give the brackets under Obama. You had your 10%, your 15, 25, 28, 33, 35, 39.6. Trump
what do those break down to now? When you now those percentages for people. So like the 10% was like if you made basically nothing, and then the
basically next So 10% would be if you're making between zero. Like this is back in like 2016 that these are right. The numbers and the income numbers. That's what they're inflated to each year. Like these brackets, they go up incrementally because of inflation. But so like the 10% bracket was from 0 to about 9,300. Then 15% went from that 93 to 37. But it also matters. Are you single filer, married filing, joint, head of household? It depends how you're
right. Filing. You have dependents, yada yada yada.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Like to bring everything together, it's kind of hard because everybody's situation is different. It's all
of course. Well, just give it to them. Give it to them general.
Yep.
Just give it to them general.
So I'm going to say that this is more of your, let's say your single filer. So if you're a single person, that's it. That's all you got. So those are the rates I was giving you from 0 to about 9,300, 15%, 9,300 to 37,600, 25% from 37,650 to 91,150, 28 from 91 to 190, 33% from 190 to 413.
Hold on.
That's a big gap. That's huge.
Hold on.
Yep.
So if I make $190,000, I'm getting taxed at 33%. And I know a lot of people are sitting here like, well, you know, you don't make it now, yada, yada, yada. But I'm eventually going to.
Yep.
I'm going to be in that tax bracket, and I don't want to be taxed at 33%. We have $54 billion in wasteful government spending. I'm confused here, people. This is kind of crazy. Like, oh, shit, that's crazy. Because you know what, these tax, like, you have all these people paying taxes, right? and I don't see it going to shit. Where you see it working at, Steve? Where you see, I'm confused because you know what? Let's have a conversation. I'm sorry. I was good all episode, but now we got a motherfucking rant. I'm mad because you know what I'm confused about, Steve? We put all this motherfucking money in the goddamn military budget. We put billions of dollars to these motherfuckers, and you didn't have not one defense for something like the coronavirus. I'm confused. Where's my money going towards? What the fuck? I'm lost. Think about it. Think about it, people. I don't give a fuck what side of the fence you on with this corona shit. Ask that question and demand answers from your representatives. How the fuck do we have well over $700 billion spent in defense and we didn't have some kind of thought? Like, think about it like this. What if another country released an airborne agent in the States? What? We don't have any kind of biological defenses? Military defenses against this kind of shit? You motherfuckers, you getting paid all this goddamn money in your think tanks, all you goddamn generals who went off to the goddamn Army College at West Point, to the motherfucking Navy school, you fucking diehard hoorah Marines, all you motherfuckers. You telling me you some bitches ain't sit around thinking about, well, what if China released an agent? What if Russia releases an agent? These motherfuckers, Russia is over here testing bombs in Antarctica. Off the fucking coast because of global warming, and we know they got the largest coastline. That's where a third of their motherfucking country's GDP comes from. They're over there testing bombs. We understand the physical ramifications, but we know that war is changing and has been changing. It is now going into the cyber affair. It is now going into the biological affair. So you mean to tell me none of you silly, stupid motherfuckers had any kind of thought and a way to put this $732 billion into some kind of biological goddamn defense? Suck my dick and die slow. I hate you motherfuckers.
See, now when I'm talking about numbers, you see, when it becomes relevant, because people see where they're currently at, you just looked at where you want to be. See, that's the whole thing. That's why I keep saying it's about perspective. How does it apply to you? And then I can even argue, me personally, it's just like, you know what? I pay taxes. This is what I do for a living. I understand how this works. I can't have any type of bias because I have to learn the tax code when it changes through presidents, but I can obviously give you facts on how it affects everybody, on just how it works. And then you can come to a conclusion whether you hate Obama, whether you hate Trump, whether you're going to hate Biden, because it's going to affect everybody differently. But the one common thing, who the fuck likes to pay tax? Who? Nobody. I don't care where you are. It doesn't matter. No one wants to.
Because it's going, because you know what? I don't have a problem paying taxes if you can see where it's going towards, and it's going towards good things. But all it's going towards, it's fucking padding these people's pockets. All right. So you went from 2016. Whose tax bracket is the next?
So you know what I'm gonna do? I want to say, so that's kind of what it was before Trump took over. So
okay. So that was Obama's. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that was for single filers, and then it went from, I only stopped at 33%. But then it went from 35% from 413 to 415. Now that I read that just looks like make no sense. You're freaking like a $2,000 window to be taxed at 35%, beside the point. But then the highest bracket from that point on was about 39.6%, or I'll just call it 40%. So that's where that was. So what Trump did, I'm just doing 2019. So these are adjusted for inflation just by a little bit year after year. You'll see it's not much of a difference, at least what they use as far as the threshold for the brackets. They changed the brackets though under Trump. So he left 10% from 0 to 9,700. This is 2019 once again, 0 to 9,700. So what Obama had was a 15% bracket. Trump made it a 12% bracket from 9,700 to about 39,475. Then the next bracket, you jump from 12% to 22%, just like the Obamas went from 15 to 25. And the 22% bracket was 39,476 to 84,200. Then it went to a 24% bracket, which was 84,201 to 167.25. Then a 32% bracket from 167.26 to 204. 35% from 204 to 510, and then anything over 510 was 37%. So that was the top bracket. So the one thing people worry, you had people flirting on the line of the big one, like where people were really conscious of, was the jump between the 24% bracket to the 32 under Trump's. Because if you're making the 160,000 as a single person, you kind of worry, like I might be bumping up 8 percentage points
That's
if
a
I make
that's a
few
life
dollars
child change.
more. Yeah, can you imagine? Like, all right, so you make $160,700 in 2019, you're in the 24% bracket. If you made 160,000, of course there's other deductions, but I'm just saying based on income, you made 160,000 or 161,000. Like, you didn't even make that much more. Now you're getting dinged at the 32% bracket. But I want to make it very clear for people. The way that the tax works, it's not a flat tax. It's not your income amount times the percentage. It's tiered up. So when I said like the 10% up from 0 to 9,700, that means you're paying 10% on your income up into 9,700, and then so you're paying that. So it's not like 35% or 33 or 32% flat. So it tiers, like you're 12% from this to this, you're paying on 22% from this to this. So it's not like you're paying a flat tax. So it makes it a little bit better, at least when you're trying to do an estimate number. It's not 32% or 33 times a flat rate. So it's going to be a little bit less of a tax than that number would be.
Right.
But I usually tell clients, just to get a ballpark, like this would be your worst case scenario. So think your tax bracket, multiply it by this. That would be absolute worst. You're going to owe less than that though, no matter what. So it's kind of a good ballpark for everybody to understand that too. Same thing. You're in that bracket times that. It's like kind of like where you know where you're going to be.
Jesus Christ. It's fucking, because you know what? Because like eventually I'm going to be fucking rich. Eventually I'm going to have like, this is going to be on a fuck. I'm telling you, you got to speak into this. I'm going to, because I'm going to put the work in. I'm going to get there. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh shit, I have to look forward to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then it's like, and then people won't be listening. Well, oh, you should be giving back to people, yada yada yada.
Let me ask you this. I want to stop it. This is where I want to ask you. How do you feel about when somebody says that to you when you came up from nothing?
You can suck my dick. You can suck my dick. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give you.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to do with my money, no matter how much or how little I may have at the time. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I don't care about any of your feelings. I don't care about your thoughts. You can go make your own money. That's really how I feel. Because at the end of the day, there's an opportunity for everybody. You just have to have the balls to fucking put it on the line for it, because no one's going to give a fuck. If, like, at the end of the day, if you try and you succeed, then you deserve everything that you've earned from that. It's not my responsibility at that point in time to then allocate it because of your feelings. That's not my problem. Fucking grow a pair. If I decide, because listen, at the end of the day, we're putting all this money into things that's going wastefully. I have no problem paying in to help people who are in a fucked up situation, who have been fucked over, because that's what I'm going to willingly spend my money on. But you're not going to tell me what to spend my money on. I can say that much. You can go suck my dick, people. I don't. Listen, I'm telling you, motherfuckers, I'm going to be in a different tax bracket one day, and I'm going to be saying the same fucking thing. You're going to come to me with your politicians. I want to donate to this. No, I don't trust you, motherfuckers. I'll open up a motherfucking non-for-profit my damn self. I'll do it myself. And yeah, it won't be me. I'll hire people, but I'll be goddamned if I listen to one of you some bitches. Motherfuckers is crazy, Steve.
No, I'm telling you. So the one thing, but like this keeps drilling the point that I made. It's like it's all about perspective and how it applies to you. So the other thing is like people don't care about the wealthy. Like when you're making like a W-2, 40, 50, 60,000, as time goes on, like that's almost going to be nothing. It's to make that work for you for the whole year in New York, you're screwed. Like if you're making like $50,000, you buy yourself and you have a kid, you're done. Like you're dead in the water. Son. Yeah, but you get subsidized by a lot of things. So this is when people should actually care a little bit more about the wealthy in a sense. They're the ones funding your programs, most likely, unless like the state had the money or the federal government is helping like back up the state with money. But like you want the wealthy there. Like we had a mass exodus of wealthy people out of the state of New York, and they try to play it off saying, "Oh yes, we had the median income was 140,000 at this area, this part of the city, but now the median income is 80. It was replaced by different people." I'm like, you're almost taking a cut of 40%.
That's a problem.
Yeah, and that's still tax revenue, but like you're taking a big hit, and like if you budget for having income like that, you're in the red right off the bat.
Well, first of all, New York has been in the red for years.
Oh
we've been in the arrears for years, but it's funny enough. That's why places like New York, places like fucking California, we're gonna be fucked because you have all these. You have all these wild ass social laws that cost a lot of money, and you're not offsetting them for people in regards to their own money. Like what we need to do is look at the allocation of the money that we're already using. I'm going to keep drilling home the point of 54 billion in wasteful government spending alone right there. That's only the federal government. We're not even talking about on the state levels. So instead of always looking to raise taxes, shit like that, let's look at what the fuck we already got and start changing some shit up. It's fucking amazing to me. So all right, so then so now you were getting into Trump's tax plan. Now can we talk about Biden's? Now is this tax plan in effect, or is this his proposed tax plan?
It's all proposed. So the one thing I want to still address that one of the changes. So we talked about tax brackets. So the other thing that he changed, most people are accustomed to, if you don't own a home or anything like that, you're used to what they call the standard deduction. Like, so if you're just renting an apartment somewhere and you're paying rent, you don't really have much of these write-offs or anything to help reduce your liability, your tax liability. So when you're under Obama and then you're under Trump, like, you don't really, it didn't impact you all that much. It's like, and I have actually examples of, like, I did benchmarks of certain income levels, how they were filing, and the tax impacts, like what the tax was owed under Obama and what the tax would be owed under Trump. Like, I did a whole calculation. I'll run through that in a second. But the one thing Trump did was he got rid of what they had. Wait, go.
Hold on.
Do it.
Thank you for that. Hey, listen, This is listen here, people. I ask people to come on the show because I think that they're professionals. I believe that they know what the fuck they're doing. I have trust in their ability to deliver. This right. Listen, I've interviewed a lot of people. You were definitely in our top 3 of motherfucking prepared. God damn it, Number Steve. Clap it up like Pat McAfee and the boys. That's a standing ovation right here. Standing ovation. Hold on. Panda. Yes. Even Panda.
Oh, there we go.
Even Panda agrees. All right, don't scratch me, bitch. All right, go ahead. Yeah, she was like, get the fuck off me, man. I was sleeping. All right, so as you were saying.
Don't worry. Like, someone's going to catch me slipping on something that's going to fact check me, and they'll hit me in the comments.
They can suck my dick.
Don't worry about it. But I'm just trying to give it a general overview.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So the one thing under Obama, I want to say this first, the standard deduction. So if you didn't have expenses over a certain amount, it depended on your filing status. You were filing with the standard deduction. So the standard deduction under Obama in 2016, if you were a single filer, it was $6,300. If you were married filing joint, it's double. It's $12,600. Right. And then head of household, that's the other one. Not many people do married filing separate. I don't even want to get in that. Head of household, you are a single person, most likely. You're raising a child. You have head of household child.
I have a question.
Status.
I have a question. So I live with my partner, right? So when we file taxes, what the fuck am I supposed to have been making sure that it's clicked on that bitch? Because we're not married. We live in the same place, but we share bills. Like, technically, if one of us died under New York State laws, the other one has control of that person's disposition. Tax purposes, how the fuck am I supposed to, what am I supposed to be like? What is supposed to be? What am I supposed to make sure that? Because I do have an accountant. What am I supposed to make sure my accountant is fucking clicking on that?
So you're not married. No. Do you own this? Are you renting? Are you paying rent?
We're renting.
So literally, there's really not much you're really worrying about. I mean, you're filing single. You're single, separate filing. Your partner by himself, and then it's going to be another. It's another single one. Yep.
Making sure. Okay. Because we both basically done that. We've been like, we're pretty sure, and that's what my accountant has said. But I'm talking to you, my people. I love my accountant. Yeah. She good peoples. I love you, Rita. But I gotta double check with Number Steve. I got him on the show. So
I'm gonna tell. I'm just gonna tell you how it is. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't want to use technical terms. I just want to tell you how it is. That's what it is. So you file single. If you guys have anything joint for whatever reason, you could split it. You can split that expense, whatever it is. If it's something deductible, whatever. But that would be if
we just pay bills. We just pay bills. Basically, we have enough
utilities and all that. Yeah,
we have enough liability that basically, if one of us dies in New York State law, the other one has the final disposition rights. That was an interesting conversation I had with my mother. Because I didn't know until I worked in the industry. I told her, I was like, yo, if something happened to me, because I've talked to him about it. I've talked to her about it because I work in that kind of, I work in death care. So it's like, I'm on it. So I'm like, yo, if something happens, I have arrangements set up. So I have insurance policy in her name, insurance policy in his name. I'm like, if something happens, you do what you got to do. She's going to take care of you on that end, whatever. I got the percentages, whatever the case may be. And it was an interesting conversation when I was like, he's going to give you rights, but he's paying for it. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he's got the policy to pay for it. You are going to do the right thing on that end because I got a percentage of that going to him for that. So don't ask me why I did it that way. It just was numerically better for my situation. Like, to be like, okay, that's that. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, now it's interesting how this whole tax shit fucking works out. But okay, so now we're on the next one. So I'm sorry.
So we're talking about the standard deductions here. So the one thing under Obama, let's say you're a single filer, you're getting a standard deduction of $6,300, and then you're getting what they have called a personal exemption. So depending on your income threshold, how much you made, I'm not going to get in that because that comes more technicalities. Right. How many people are getting claimed on your return? You got $4,000, an additional $4,050 a person that's claimed on the tax return. So it's a $6,300 plus the $4,050, which times the amount of people you have on the return. That's what you get as a deduction, and then you're getting taxed on that income right there after it's netted down. So back under Obama, let's say you itemize. So somebody who itemizes has real estate taxes, mortgage interest, charitable contributions, medical expenses. There was like other miscellaneous write-offs. So like if you were a construction worker who had a job and like you fronted for your boots, your work pants, stuff like that. That was something that was deductible under Obama. Like, you'd be able to write that off. And I'll go into that more after this. But
so it wasn't deductible under Trump?
Yeah, that's one change he made.
Hold on.
I'll tell you why too.
Hold, give me a second. Give me a second. I just have to have a
question
for you, number Steve.
We're doing it for the viewers, man. You tell me.
I just have a question for you, baby. Do you mean to tell me the man that everyone on the right said who was fighting for them, he was fighting for the common man, he was fighting for the man in the factory, you telling me that he took away a tax deduction from the common man? Was it for a good reason?
Yeah. So the reason being, a lot of those people, who were writing stuff, like the people were writing stuff off for, it was arbitrary. Well, and depends if you got audited, that's when you only had to worry about it. But like, people were pumping a lot of expenses. Like, yeah, I bought $700 work boots, my work pants. I bought $1,000 worth of work pants. Like, and you were able to help a deduction under like Obama. But Trump's like, this is too arbitrary, and we're losing money on these deductions. We don't have the force to audit people to make sure this is correct. So we're doing away with it. So, but to be technical, people, if there's certain states, like if you lived in New York, that was still deductible. Like the state allowed it, but like I said, I don't want to get into states and like I just want to go federal because everyone's affected by
everybody has a federal.
Yeah. So so that was washed under Trump. So the other thing I just want to say, this would be relevant for people with kids. Under Obama, you had a child tax credit of $1,000 per kid under the age of 17. And then there's other, obviously, thresholds, income. If you made this much, you don't get it, or you get a limited portion of that. And there's like dependent care credit. So if you have a kid, you put them into a daycare, you get a certain credit for the expenses you pay up to a certain amount. Right. So that's one thing. So when Trump took over, he got rid of that personal exemption of the $4,050 per person. So he got rid of that, but he doubled the standard deduction. So, for example, for a single filer, it was like $6,300, but under Trump, it was $12,200. So actually, the net benefit was a little bit more under Trump in that sense if you only were just one person. So if it's just you, then like you benefited that way. Right. And then, so I want to backtrack for the standard and itemized deductions. You would itemize if you had real estate taxes, mortgage interest in excess of your standard deduction. So as long as you had real estate taxes, if in New York, your real estate taxes are going to be way over $6,300. I don't even care where you're living. Your real estate taxes are over $6,300, period. So you would be itemizing. So the one thing that Trump did that really hurt with his change, besides, like, he doubled this standard, like I said, $12,200 for single, $24,400. This is in 2019 though, $24,400 in marriage filing joint, $18,350 for head of household. He upped the child tax credit from $1,000 to $2,000, but he also changed the age. So under Obama, it was 17 and younger, you were getting $1,000. Trump did it under is 19 and younger, you get $2,000. And then if they're older, and it had different thresholds, if your kid wasn't a full-time college student, different things, but you were also getting, if you had another dependent above the age of 19, you can get a $500 also credit for them too. So it was an age thing there. But the one thing that he hurt almost everybody with his tax change on a state that has high real estate taxes was what we call the SALT cap, the state and local tax cap. So what Trump did essentially, just to tell you what he did, I'll just tell you how it worked under Obama. Under Obama, you would be able to deduct all the real estate taxes you paid. And the other thing you also get a deduction for is the taxes you owe to the state that you're a resident of. So that's something that gets put into there too. So like if you owed like $6,000 to a state and then you paid $15,000 of real estate taxes, you're getting a deduction of $21,000 as an itemized deduction, which helps drop that income.
Yeah.
So what Trump did to kind of like I would say, stimulate the economy and just help with taxes where he boosted the government themselves. And this affected nearly anybody in New York. It didn't really matter how much you had. Any homeowner in New York, let me say that. The state and local tax cap was $10,000. If you owned a home in New York, California, and Jersey, you're dead in the water right away. So mortgage interest and stuff like that wasn't limited, but the state and local tax cap. So that's the one thing that's getting a lot of pushback now, but I'll get into that. So like that's what really, really hurt people. So if you're a wealthy person, I mean, it also depends what you consider wealthy. Because I even just looked this up recently because I didn't know. A middle class for three-member family is a range of $40,100 to $120,000. I was like, that's middle class. I mean, like, is that what we're really considering?
No, I don't. Well, hold on, because wouldn't some of that be part of the working class?
That's what I'm saying. Like, are we considering the middle is the working class? I mean, you know what? I don't. It's so arbitrary. They put the terms on certain things. It's like, what really is it? I thought.
So I guess that is middle. I guess it is middle. I thought that was working class. Mm-hmm. I would think that 40,000 to 100,000 is working class.
Mm-hmm.
Like 150,000 and above, I think you could then be considered middle class. And then you got the upper middle class and you got the wealthy, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting that they would do that. Huh.
Yep.
I guess trying to have a better group identity, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, your guess is better than mine, man. I just got to make sure I understand the stuff as is. I can't even care. I can't judge it. Because you got to realize I got clients that are on all ends of the political spectrum.
Of course.
So like, I don't care what happens. It's just I care because they
just care about tax code.
I got to fucking learn it. I got to learn it every single year. It's like, God damn. Like, and then he overturned in 4 years. People are happy about that. I'm not, for the fact that I got to learn a new tax code so quickly. Like,
so basically, come on, man. Steve is always voted for the incumbent no matter what. Like, I know this. I don't have to know the work for another 4 years.
It's like, that's how it's like, vote for Trump because I do not want to learn a new tax code. I don't care about nothing. That's how that affects me. You know, imagine that. But so that was a big thing. And let me run through, just to even drill this a little bit more. I want to run through a couple scenarios that I actually did for you.
Of course.
So I did 3 scenarios. If you were a single taxpayer, nothing else, you're renting where you live, and that it's just you. So the first thing that I did, I wanted to do it kind of where maybe the viewers are, or even just a regular everyday person. Single taxpayer making $60,000. That is it.
Hold on.
$60K.
Give me 1 second. Yep. Listen here, people. Where fucking else are you getting this fucking information? Listen, I'm sick. You motherfuckers are going to put some respect on Conversations with Dean's motherfucking name. Where else are you going to get free tax advice on the fucking fly? Where else do you go to get your real news on the fucking fly? I'm not here to play games. I'm here to take you niggas' jobs. With that said, go ahead, Number Steve. Go ahead and do your thing. Do it, player.
So, of course, like we mentioned, we were talking about before, everyone has a different situation. So I try to be as general as possible. Everything that affects this is kids. Are you married? How many kids do you have? What things? Do you put them in daycare? Do you not put them in daycare? There's so many things. Just try to be as general as possible just to show the comparison. So you're a single taxpayer making $60,000. Under Obama in 2016, your taxes that you owe on that level of income, because you still get the standard deduction because it's reducing it, was $8,190. I want everybody just to be very objective when they hear what I'm saying, because people are really thinking like Trump was for the trying to help the rich out as much as possible. Just now I wanted to come
hold on. Say that number one more time for Obama.
So it was $8,190 was under Obama in 2016. If you're making 60,000
on 60 G's, okay.
On 60 G's, yep. In 2019, but of course, like remember, brackets get adjusted for inflation, but it's not really much of a change there. Single taxpayer making 60 under Trump The tax obligation, 6,380. Well, I'm going to keep going. All right. So, I mean, I want to see all right, I want to scream poverty now. I'm dropping it now. Single taxpayer making
I want to scream poverty.
Because I want to see, because people are thinking there's certain things he didn't help you, didn't, and I'm going to show you how. Single taxpayer making 40,000 under Obama, you're paying almost 4,000. It was $3,988. Trump, 3,145. And I'm like, you know what? Let me take it one step further. Let's say, you know what, you're not working part-time or whatever, you had issues, you're making 30,000, or if that's what you make, that's fine. Single taxpayer making $30,000. Under Obama, they owed 2,488. Trump, 1,945. All right. So I wanted to give
Listen. Like, that's the thing I think that with a lot of our generation that people don't realize is that I'm gonna call it a spade a spade. Our generation is fucking you know what it is, Steve. I've been called a spade. Even if I'm wrong, it at least it's like the 6 and the 9 thing. It's from my perspective the spade I can call. But our generation is a generation that is socially liberal and fiscally conservative, and this is the best example. And I don't want to be that guy, but it's funny because yes, I have a lot of liberal friends, but I have a lot of conservative friends. When I look at my circle, a lot of my closest friends are a lot of the people that I would go to put me in check if I'm out of pocket. I'm like, yo, am I bugging out on this? Like one of my closest friends, Gary Chris.
Gary,
listen, shout out,
Gary.
Listen,
how you doing, brother?
I fucking love Gary Chris to death. Like, listen, I will go to war for Gary Chris. I will call him and I'll hit him up in a second and be like, yo, am I out of pocket for this? Or I'll just say this, and then he'll just be like, I think you're bugging for that one. Okay, I respect it. But a lot of those conservatives that that y'all all say that hate the gays and hate these people and hate these people and hate people who don't believe in Jesus and all that kind of stuff. Gary loves the shit out of Jesus, loves the shit out of the Bible. One of the craziest conversations, because me and him had a recording that we have not released, just because I think it's too real for the people, and he does too. I don't think that society is mature enough for that kind of conversation. One of the only interview I've ever done where I was like, he hit me, he was like, I was like, I agree with you. I don't think that society is in a place to be able to face their own demons the way that him and I had a conversation of. But in that same interview that day, it wasn't even that, it was after the interview. We have a whole conversation on him trying to convince me that I'm not automatically going to hell for my choices of sleeping with a man at night. Very interesting conversation because I'm an independent. And I was coming from the stance of you don't personally, and I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna get me canceled, but I'm not a fan of the Christian gay, you got the Presbyterians who they have the gay flag outside the church. I'm not a fan of it. You want to know why, Steve? The Bible's not with it. The Bible has never been with it. So what the fuck are you trying to conform to this piece of go find another religion, do something else. Practice another form of spirituality, but don't try to go ahead into Christianity and change it because it's not going to. He said what he said about Sodom and Gomorrah. He did what he did with that island. Now, you can tell me all you want that it was a mistranslation, and I'm going to tell you what the book has been telling for years. I have too many Christians, too many reverends, too many pastors in my family to disrespect the word of God. You can say however you want to about that. That's not my place. Now, I have my own thoughts because I am not a Christian. I am able to now have my own thoughts, opinions, and views on spirituality. But it's interesting that I'm sitting here fighting with this conservative, and I'm like, nah, bro, according to the Bible, it says niggas is going to hell. So I'm good on it. A lot of choices I make in my life directly go against the Bible, and I knowingly do it, and I knowingly don't care. So who am I to try to change this whole thing? But it's interesting having this conversation going back and forth with this conservative that individuals automatically would say, because he voted for whoever the fuck he voted for, that he's this, that, and the third. I'll tell you right now, let me call him and say this, and this just happened to me. is only going to be a few people that's going to be getting to me faster than he is. So you can suck my dick with all of your rhetoric in regards to these lines, because you all have these lines, no matter if it's on the right or the left. Look at these fucking tax codes. Look at it. Like, let's have a conversation about it. Why was Obama taxing us so much, and the government spends so much of it on nonsense? Let's just have a conversation of it. You know what I mean? Like, let's really talk about it. Give me a second, Steve. I gotta fix this goddamn light.
Yep.
And yeah, so all right, and we're back, people. So, but you see what I'm saying? Oh, hold on, one second.
Oh, geez, it's always been like this, man. Can't get your shit straight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking. I refuse to buy one of those fucking. It doesn't. Fuck it.
Coming from me, I'm on an iPad and my AirPods. Like,
no, with the shit, because it's this fucking light. I refuse to buy one of those selfie lights, and I have this other light that like I Jimmy rigged for it, and I just will not give it up. One more second.
Are you telling me? Come on, man. Knowing you have one of those makeup lights, those circle lights. You kidding me?
No, I don't.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, you do.
I swear to God, I don't. That's the problem. I don't.
God.
I have this. I swear to. It's funny. I swear to God. So I actually have this light. It's actually Justin's light, and he gets pissed because he's been trying to find a light bulb for it, and he can't find it. He's like, "You're gonna fucking kill the light bulb, and I'm not gonna be able to use that light. I love that light." And I'm just like, "I don't give a fuck, motherfucker." Like, I'm using the light because one day this light is gonna help us get fucking rich. So like, I'm using the light until I have to buy one. I'm fucking cheap in certain regards. Even it's funny though, because like when I get rich and when I get there, he's definitely gonna be the one in charge of the fucking money. The same way with Bert Kreischer and like Leanne Kreischer, how they got their shit going. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because I'm a fucking nutcase. And he's really frugal. So he'll be like, "You wanted to buy what? No. Are you fucking kidding? No, just put it into this instead." Like, you're right. Put into this instead, you can make the money off that, and then you can buy that. You're right. So he'll have me making money to buy stuff. So like, I'm cool with that. He'll say, make an investment before you buy something. Interesting.
Yeah.
So all right.
Have that money work for you, man. That's the whole thing. Like, people can save money and freaking spend it on investments or things like that. It's just like, do it. Like, don't spend on something stupid. You want a new bag, a new purse, a new whatever it is, jewelry. No, invest it, and then you'll be happy that you fucking did. So
those fucking. Anyway. First of all, something we're gonna definitely have to have you back. I'm definitely gonna have you back one more. I'm Steve, the numbers guy. Because I want to have you on with. I definitely want to have you on Black of the Berry too. Because
I don't think Lois is ready for this. I don't think Lois is ready for this. I don't think so. I'm calling shots now. I'm calling shots, Lois.
Boom. Listen,
I go back with him too.
Let me tell you something. And that's why, and people listen to this, they won't understand. This is a saga of years. Yes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Like, it was funny because I was talking to Los before, and I was like, "Yo, I'm interviewing Steve. We're doing this, we're doing that." And then he was like, he goes, "Steve so-and-so?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "The fucking Terminator?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, he told me to ask you about something, and I totally forgot what it was. Ottomans, maybe, or something like that.
Oh, your mother! I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew where he was going. I fucking knew where he was going.
But now we can go there.
There's a few other people that would know about this exact circumstance. Select few. God damn.
Now listen, you don't have to say it, but he told me, he was like mention it. And I was like, "Nah, we're talking about taxes, whatever." But it just obviously came up a conversation now. So I was like, I'll just slow it in there. You don't have to say what it was, but he wanted to make sure that I dropped that. I'm just letting the people, you see number guy Steve's reaction? We go back, y'all. We go fucking back. And matter of fact, I'll put it to you like this. Number Steve. I have to ask you something. Because you were there for it.
Oh, shit.
And this is going to be a clip. I'm going to have to make a clip.
Oh, shit.
Do you remember when before Los became Los, his name was Denzel? Do you remember when Denzel killed Brian fucking Quigley? At fucking, now mind you, this was during the Hangover Bowl. The scrimmage on Sundays. Quigley caught the swing pass. And Los hit him so fucking hard, he popped his helmet off, and then coach.
Yes. Oh my God. Like, I was trying to think. Holy shit. Yeah, my God, I
Oh
forgot about
shit!
that. There were so many things that went on in those practices. Oh my God, dude, it was a freaking, we're killing each other. God
Yo, we
damn.
used to. It was weird. Like I don't think people.
Well, I want to say something, people, the viewers. We were
Yeah.
wearing helmets back in the day where if you hit yourselves hard enough, you're bleeding from the forehead.
Yeah.
Like we had these shitty ass helmets in college, and we're I mean, yes, where we played, it wasn't, I would say, the most competitive. Like you had the biggest, fastest
Well, no,
guys,
hold on. I'll
but we
challenge you on that.
killed each other.
I'll challenge you on that in the sense of when you look at the Empire 8, the division we played in, that division for D3 can be compared for the competitiveness level of that division. In Division 3 could be said. We played in the SEC of D3s. There was always multiple national ranked teams that we played. Whenever Hartwick played somebody out of conference, we shit stomped you. You had no chance. We went in there, we beat the shit out of you, we fucked your women, and we shit on your field. That's what the fuck we did. Now in conference, it was a motherfucking battle. A battle that we a lot of times lost because we was running a playbook from goddamn 89, but that's a different conversation. I'm just saying, I would say that we definitely we played in a very competitive, because I think about some of the players that we had. Like, okay, the biggest one, and the one that I believe should have never been down with us is Big Jim DeRosa.
Hell no, nope.
6'1",
that was just a different. That was
300 pounds.
That was a specimen.
Did he run what did he run? A 4'8", 4'9", 40? Strong as an ox. And I was a person that go against him. It was this is how you know when you're playing a different kind of player. When I remember getting beat by Jim DeRosa, right? One time in one-on-ones. And the thing is, he's 300 pounds. I'm 255 pounds at the time. But here's the thing, we both got the same strength. So like we're both around the same. So like he's not stronger than me per se. You know what I'm saying? So he's not like you know.
Yep. Flip the switch.
We're there. This motherfucker's athletic ability, though, was on another level. And then you add that with his speed and power. Jim beat me so wild one time. I'll never forget, we were watching a film, and then Tompkins goes, "You know something funny, Hinton? You're set. Everything you did would be perfect against anybody else. But Jim DeRosa, I'm like, he shouldn't be down here." I said he shouldn't be like, and then it was fucking agreed upon. Him with one fucking shoulder. This motherfucker tore his rotator cuff.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yep.
This motherfucker tore his rotator cuff and was just fucking up. And mind you, and once again, people, I was an undersized lineman. I was a part of the last crew of undersized linemen, I would say, at Hartwick. Because when I started, you had, well, first of all, okay, so when I started my junior year, because you had that fucking competition going on at guards, some people going down, people losing their jobs. It was like, I think my junior year was the year that Hartwick had, I think, the deepest offensive line depth. And what I mean by that is like you had 7, maybe 8 offensive linemen who in other colleges are starting. Like Hartwick's offensive line, I think, was deep at that point in time, and it was underrated. But so you fucking got that whole competition. But then my senior year when I played, I was the lightest guy at 255. The next one closest to me, I think, was fucking Carnivale, and he was like 280. Then you got Panesi, 290, 300 pounds. You got Big Markey, 285. You had fucking
damn.
Yo,
these names, man, dude. I haven't heard these names in so long.
Done. First, shout out to let me tell you something else. Somebody I've been trying to get on the show for the longest time, and I'm gonna get them on. Mark fucking Smith. I love Marky Poo to fucking death. Mark is, because you know what it was? I think Mark was the individual. Me and Mark were just blast. We were two different humans, but the same human. What I mean by that is Mark has his views and opinions in his ways, and so do I. But we can come together and respect each other on those and have genuine love. Like I will fucking
wait. Are you saying that's possible in today's society? Are you actually saying that's possible?
I'm saying it's possible. It's absolute, and this is what, and I think this is why when people listen to my show, sometimes they're just like they get confused because I'm all over the spectrum. But that's really how I genuinely feel, because it's like, yo, I got love for people on different ends of the spectrum, and they've showed me genuine love, and you can't tell me that it's faked. And I'm not gonna allow you, society, to tell me that it's fake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are the, like, listen, let me tell you something. These conservatives that you genuinely view as being racist assholes, because there's only a few of them, and don't get me wrong, that few is a large percentage, and they have some deep-rooted issues within that party. But this new generation, they're a different breed, bro. Because this is the same generation that I'm coming to them, my authentic black ass self. And like, I'm not afraid to say, like, you know, you white people be like, I'm not afraid to say that to these people, and it is not a fucking recoil. And it's like, well, what about this? What about that? Do not get me wrong. They are gonna fucking, the reason why my podcast is gonna go to the next level is because I'm sparring with these motherfuckers. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm having conversations with people who do not necessarily always are going to agree with what I'm saying, and they're going to challenge me, and they're going to make me, I have to prove them wrong. I have to prove them wrong. And I think we live in a society today that everyone just needs to be, like, you have to listen to people who, like, you live in your own echo chamber.
Yep. Yes, sir. You're saying everything. Is that your cat, or is that a baby crying?
Yeah, that sounded like a fucking no. Oh no, hold on. It's a baby because my window's open. My cat is over here. She's just fucking sitting there. That's why you heard me go like this. So what the fuck is wrong with my cat? I was like, the dog is in a separate place because the cat and the dog can't be out at the same time. And then when I do the record, listen, I've tried to record one time with the dog out, and it was a disaster. Because then you have to put him in like a cage section, because then he'll run around all over the place, and then you just fucking, you hear him, and then he just gets fucking mad. He's a fucking dick. But yeah, we got in a soliloquy of just life, and I should know. But because it's real facts. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that really is missed in today's day and age. I think that's gonna be the downfall of America.
Yeah, you're right.
We're not like, having. Go ahead.
Like, because I mean, you see me like with the conversations we've been having as of recent. Like, you see, like, I text you, and like, obviously sometimes you don't get back, you're working, things like that. But it's like I'm like seeing the things that I'm saying. I just want to see like is this right? Is this wrong? Like, what the hell's going on? And just from what you're saying too, it's just like, it's like people are so easily triggered nowadays. Just, I know we're getting off topic. It's just with like,
it seems like Steve, they've been waiting for I guarantee you there's been, I've got some viewers who are waiting for consistent, faithful, and they've been like, when is this nigga gonna take it off topic? Because he's actually, like, I've given them an hour on topic. I've done something unfathomable. I'll let you talk. I shut the fuck up. So they were probably sitting there just like, when this nigga
where is he? Who's this fucking guy he's letting talk? Yeah. Who's this guy?
No. Letting him talk? There's a reason why. Because one, I'm trying to grow as a podcaster, people. I'm trying to grow. But number two, I want you to understand the information that Steve is trying to put forth out there for you, and he was breaking it down, and he's going to later. Don't get me wrong, we still have a whole bunch to talk about.
I'll finish it up. Yeah, I got it. Don't worry,
Steve. We got.
I got it.
You know what kind of time we got, Steve?
Oh,
we got the kind all of time. The time like, this is what happens when you produce your own shit. On the fly, you can make a part 1, part 2. Like, you know what I mean? On the motherfucking fly, we can make a part 1, part 2. It's nothing to fucking send this on the Google Chrome to Los and say, Los, cut it right here for me. Like, it's nothing. So we can fucking, so we're gonna take our fucking time with this. Fuck these people. So like, my regular fans, you know I love y'all. It's just, I'm talking to the others. So I think that this is gonna be a downfall of America in the sense of they're trying to make it so that people who look different, who are different, can't have a common accord. And that's the big and then they act like you can't have differences. Like, and what I mean by that is
you can't be unified with differences. They're trying to do something like that. It's like, you're not gonna be able to see eye to eye. Do they want to make it's either black or it's I'm literally not meaning what I'm saying. It's either black or white. So you see it in black or you see it in white, or that's it. And there's no other thing. You can't find a middle ground. And I feel like as time's going, everything the far left and the far right keeps getting pushed. And then it leaves the people who are either leaning left and leaving right, like to say, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on today where we can't talk? I mean, you go on social media, it will drive you fucking crazy because
Yes.
a lot of the arguments are either easily triggered because the emotions or how people feel. Like, and I understand that, but like we're in a point in time in society where when the hell are get like facts not relevant anymore and your feelings take precedent. Like I'm not saying that. I feel like me just saying that people are like, oh, you're a gung-ho Trump supporter. No, I'm just not a fucking asshole. I mean, I see it from both sides. It's just like, if you're getting all your information from CNN and ABC, okay, you're gonna look at it from that tunnel vision from there. If you get all your information from Fox or you even have Tucker Carlson and even like the people you see on social media, Hodge twins, Steven Crowder, like if you see those guys,
yeah,
like trust
absolutely.
me, that name is gonna, that last name triggers a lot of people, and I get it. So it's just
That-
like they're gonna point out the flaws of each other. And I just posted this on one of a mutual friend of ours Facebook post. It was like a completely off topic. It's just like you have to take what they say, the left, what the right says, because they're going to point the shit out of the flaws on both of you. Well, you're an asshole because of this. You're an asshole because of this. So where does it leave us in the middle who want to actually have the conversation on how do we make everything better? And it's just the fact that we became more of a liberal society. It's just like that the feelings matter more than the facts. It's like, this is bad. It's just this. It's like that's a pandemic or an epidemic.
That is. And the reason why is because and you know what it is? They need people like you. They need people like me. They need people like that I had on as Dave. They need people like that I had on as Jim. They need the Garys. They need the you need the people who, yes, we may ideologically lean a certain way, but that does not impede our judgment on judging what they're doing.
Yep.
If that's wrong, that's right. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's going to take people like us standing up and saying, you're both bullshit. And that's what I want and I am going to do. And that's what this show is about. It's about pointing out fallacies in both. And I know lately I've been leaning to the right, been fucking eviscerating the left. But listen here, people. By the time this episode has went out on Monday, this episode's coming out on Monday. The day before, I am going to come at conservatives in a way that you have never seen me do it before. So you go ahead, you can pause this, you can go check that out, and you can come back. But I'm telling you, all you motherfuckers who just keep trying to tell me what I am, and I keep telling you what I am, I prove to you as such. Do yourself the favor and go get yourself educated on how to protect your civil liberties. Now, back on the subject. So, what is Biden's proposed tax plan?
So, I'm going to hold you. I'm actually going to stop you there because I still want to go down that list on the scenarios I ran.
Yes, please. Please.
So you literally see how it affects everybody. If you're single, you're a head of household with a child. If you're married filing joint with this amount of income, so I'm going to do it. So I hit you. The last thing I hit you with was a single taxpayer making $30,000, which under Obama your tax is $2,488. Under Trump it was $1,945. So guys, this is not a biasness. This is me literally doing it. I do taxes for a living. I compare it. I did.
You don't do taxes. You just do fucking numbers. Don't tell these motherfuckers. Listen.
It's all right.
Listen.
I do a lot of different things.
You motherfuckers better not come for him until I can at least pay him to be on my team. Don't fucking do it. Just wait. Listen, all right. If you're going to come for this motherfucker, at least like, share, and subscribe this shit so more people hate it so I can at least pay this motherfucker. All right? Fucking just you motherfuckers. All right. And listen, y'all know, I'm not talking to my regular listeners. I'm talking to these new motherfuckers who have who honestly may have came more because they saw number Steve. Don't fucking snitch. Don't be a bitch. Join the ride. All right, go ahead. All right, so that was single. So now what are we getting into next?
So I'm going to say, so kind of when I was saying screaming poverty, like that's the whole thing that they say that the Republicans just want to cut for the wealthy, and the Democrats are only for like the middle working class, and then the like people in poverty, lower income. So they're always saying that. I'm just putting this: you are a single taxpayer you're making 30,000, but you have one child. So you're a single mother, let's say in that scenario, you're raising a kid. So that means you're a head of household filing status. So under Obama, the tax itself would be 1,263. And there's two other things a couple things I factored in here. So yes, it's 1,263, but there's other credits because you have a kid that you can get. There's the earned income tax credit, child tax credit, an additional child tax credit. Doing these calculations, so it was 1,263 was the tax, and on that level
under Obama
for
the kid, and that's a single parent,
one kid making $30,000 on a W-2. So that would be the tax that they would owe on that income. Of course, like if they had they withheld on it, they might not actually owe anything, but this is just what the tax is on that level. And there's these credits that they get. So there's this earned income tax credit that they get also, which was 1,482, which reduces your tax dollar for dollar. And there's a child tax credit for $1,000, which reduces your tax dollar for dollar. So on all that level, yes, you have 1,263 worth of taxes, but you had about 2,482 worth of credits to help reduce it. All right. Under Trump, the same exact circumstance, the tax is 1,168 as opposed to 1,263. The earned income tax credit, as opposed, it's from being 1,042 under Obama, it was 1,769 under Trump. The child tax credit, being 1,000 under Obama, was 1,168 under Trump because there's certain limitations or how they calculate it. But also under Trump, they got an additional child tax credit of $832. So they gave them more. So you had credits under Obama of 2,482, and under Trump, you had credits of 3,769. Whether some of the credits are refundable, meaning like, okay, just because you have no tax obligation, you could still get this credit, but there's certain things that are called non-refundable credits that you only get a benefit for until your tax goes down to zero. So you can't get a refund based on a credit.
Okay.
There's certain things like that.
Okay, break it down.
So now I want to hit it higher. Now we're talking about, I want to go to a married filing joint couple. You're making $200,000. You can say you're doing well. You're not bad. So the tax under Obama was 36,056, right? Under Trump, it was 30,493. So now we're getting to the realm of where people think that he was favoring them too. So you can see this here that they also get, but under that too, even though the tax is 30,493, there's no child tax credit. This is one kid married filing joint 200,000. Under Obama, you got no credit. Like you said, screw you, you get nothing. Trump is giving you the $2,000 tax credit. So he's helping you even more. So you can see like, okay, like, but now this is what I'm saying perspective. I gave you a head of household filer, $30,000, and I showed you the credits that they got on that income. Right. Like they got a decent amount of credits too. So it's just like, all right, that's relevant. And then yes, they're owing less tax, but they're getting a credit too under Trump. So like all in all, like the taxes are it's like the taxes are dropping across the board. But once again, I'm giving the example that they don't own a house. They don't have mortgage, they're renting. So that actually plays into it. All right, now I'm going to go next. Now I want to get in the top bracket. So you're a married filing joint company. You guys have a combined salary of $500,000. That's your take home at the end of the day. It's never actually your take home because you net it down from payroll taxes, withholding, everything like that. So under Obama, naturally, you would figure that these people are going to pay more under Obama than Trump. And that it's facts. So I can't go up in the top, but I gave you lower income. Like seems like I'm defending Trump, but now I'm going down here and saying under Obama, you're making $500,000. You have a kid. It's $138,677 that you owe in tax under Obama. On $500,000, that's how much tax you owe. Now you're thinking like, holy shit, like I don't want to pay all that out. That doesn't even factor in state. So if you live in a state like New York, forget it. You're done. Like there's so much getting paid out.
Hold on. So you live in a state like New York, you're fucking around and you're paying like you make $400,000. You may fuck around and pay a total of like $200,000 to maybe $250,000 in taxes.
You almost might pay, like it might be just shy, but you almost paying like 50% of your income. So you're but people don't understand you're paying payroll taxes and all this stuff too, and it reduces it. But yes, there's certain things that stop when you hit a certain income threshold, like Social Security. You only paid up to a certain amount of wages, and like in 2020, that was like $137,700 that you pay into Social Security. Anything in excess, it's not. Like you don't pay any more Social Security, you get capped there. But Medicare, you still keep paying taxes. There's different rates for that stuff. But just that same situation, I want to give you under Trump. Naturally, like you're going to see a reduction.
Wow.
They owe 116,847. So it's about $22,000 difference there, just because of that.
Jesus Christ.
So, but where it will start to equate, I didn't run the example of this, but where something like that would start to equate itself is that state and local tax cap, like I referred to, where it's at 10. So if you're a $500,000 earner, most likely you're living in a nicer house, your real estate taxes are more. So let's say even like, all right, we're gonna go. I remember having a client when this first came in effect. They paid $68,000 in real estate taxes. Guy's a lawyer, and I think his W-2, his married filing joint, I think it was like 600 and change, but it was like $68,000 he paid just in real estate taxes alone. That doesn't include state, it doesn't include anything else. And just imagine you're this person, right? So under Obama, you're actually not doing half bad because you're able to deduct that full 60,000 and change real estate taxes. That will drop your income straight down. But where Trump's, like, this is where Trump got at
people outside. Goddamn. Sorry, people. Listen, if you want me to not have yelling, if you want me to not have screaming, you have to like, share, subscribe, and you have to share this podcast out to make sure people know so they can listen. So that way I would be able to have more listeners so I can pay to have a better studio. Because right now I'm performing at the crib. And let me tell you something. I don't want none of you motherfuckers to get any kind of slick ideas of trying to find out where I live, whatever. Let me tell you something. It's 2 grown men, a dog, and a lot of weapons. And we're not on, like, I'm going to say it is what it is. I'm not the typical gay guy that most of you, because I'm not gay, I'm bisexual, but most of you motherfuckers, I understand what it is in the culture, gonna call me gay. I'll take it. I'm not the typical one. He's not the typical one. He's a medical professional. I work in death care. You will get fucked up in here. So don't think that because I reform at the crib, that you could just be like, oh, we're going to see what it's hitting for. You're going to fuck around and leave out my motherfucking crib feet first. I promise you. You understand what I'm saying? But now do the right thing, so I don't got to worry about that. So I can go ahead and have a studio like all your favorite other big podcasts. Help me help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I can hire a security guard and then whatever the case may be. Because right now, somebody come in the crib.
You're in the wrong state, my man. You're in the wrong state.
But you know what it is? At times, it's like you got to do what you got to do. Because if you come in here threatening me, I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care about where the fuck am I gonna run? I'm not like, and that's the issue when you got these, and then you got these fucking liberals supporting this stupid shit. You're not trained for that. I'm not trained to think if somebody comes in my crib trying to take my shit to run and leave. I'm fucking gonna be all over the place and nervous. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna meet force with motherfucking force. The same way I don't give a fuck about King Cuomo. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. You come in here with bad intentions, I promise you on my grandmother's fucking grave, you will be met with ill fucking intentions. And the only motherfucker who will ever be able to save you is God. But I guarantee you, he's backing me on that one. So you're done, son. You're done.
Yep. You know what? It's that common saying that they say, you'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Sorry.
Listen, and as someone who every day sees people, and I help, and then sometimes in some cases I am, you're taking care of people who cannot take care of themselves. You're taking care of their families. I'm not going until Brenda goes. I'll be motherfucking damned if you gonna have Brenda walking into some arrangement room. She'll walk into a penitentiary to go visit me first. And it's gonna be like, I had to do what I had to do. It is what it is.
Only if the viewers know where you came from. The house
you know
dead serious that you are. Only like, dead serious you are. It ain't a joke. This ain't a joke. We're laughing. It ain't a joke.
You know what it is? It's funny because you know what? I'm getting to the place that, like, I'm a content creator. So most of the people who support me don't really like. I'm at a half and half standstill. So I got a lot of people who know me who do support it, and then I got a lot of people who don't know me. So when they hear me talking like this, they're just like, "Oh yeah, Dean being funny." They don't really like you know me, like you know. I truthfully, when I get to that point, I don't give a damn. Like once I'm there, it's like everything is rationalized.
It's like, don't take this as a joke, people. It's just like I've known this guy for over 10 years. I mean, like no, I ain't kidding. Like what I know about him personally.
Listen, and then it's funny because you know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
So I was walking my dog one day, and we don't live far from one of Justin's siblings' houses, right? So I'm not gonna say how many siblings. I'm you know what I mean, I'm trying to protect him and his family as much as possible. But I saw one of his siblings, and I was walking the dog, and we were just chatting, and whatever the case may be. And then they were like, "Yo, you know he got an axe, bro." I came in his house. You would have thought that he cheated on me. You got a fucking axe? I don't know about it, nigga. Where that? Put that shit out. Where's it at? We gotta put this shit with the yo son. I can't. Yo son, he was like, why axe? I was like, why you? He was like, why are you so aggressive right now? I said, you got an axe and shit. He goes, I showed it to you. He pulled the motherfucker out, and I was like, oh yeah, you did. He goes, remember I got it next to the thing, and I was like, you did tell me you got it. So we had it in place. It's funny because like I came in here like, you got the motherfucking thing and I ain't know. He was like, nah, I told you about it. Yo, and it's funny, yo, bro. It's you know something, because it's like, all right, I am on both sides of the fence, whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna tell you, to somebody who's dated both, it's more fun dating men. Well, excuse me, I'm lying. It's more fun dating Justin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really like the rest of you motherfuckers, but him, I love to death. Like this, it's interesting talking to somebody who is as dark as you. Like we've had conversations like, what happens if somebody comes in the crib? Well, I think we gotta do this. So you gonna jump off the banister and get him with Brown while I get the thing? Easy. Yeah, that's love right there. That's love. You can have a conversation on how you're gonna fuck somebody up if they're gonna come in your crib. There's no greater love than that. Is there greater love than that?
I don't think so. Someone's like, how are we gonna fuck this guy up? Like, how are we gonna fuck the person up?
Like, listen, you heterosexual motherfuckers, I get it. You can have kids, but I can have conversations about defense, violence, fun. My house is it's a phenomenon. It's like you would think it's not a bachelor pad, but you got like, y'all got so much cool things. Yes, I know. We're dudes. We're gonna be the cool uncles. Like, I'm gonna leave all my money to my fucking goddaughter. She's gonna get all my money.
You know what I'm gonna say too? Like you're making that saying that like you guys plan this and stuff, like what you would do. I can almost attest. As a straight man, I think any guy straight, like for either protecting their family, always runs through the thought in their head: if somebody tried to break in my house, what the hell am I doing? Like any straight guy is that way.
Absolutely.
It's funny that you say this. I was talking to people a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, you know what? Like I'd open my bedroom door, I'd lay on the floor, and I would announce my presence. Like, you come up here, that's it. You're gonna have one right through the two eyes. It's like, just to think of how you're gonna play it. It's like, I'm not even gonna hesitate. And that's the one thing I tell you. Just like, I don't care who's breaking in. It could, like, that's it. You're done. Like you're coming
you're done, upstairs. Son.
I announce my presence. You're gonna say it, and you come in. It's done. I don't care. Every state should be like Florida in the sense it stands your fucking ground.
Yo,
I mean, I hate how somebody could break in your house, get hurt from breaking into your house and suing you because they got hurt breaking into your house. And then in Florida, for my friends that got down there, what they tell you, if someone breaks in your house, you shoot to kill. Because it's one-sided testimony.
Because you shouldn't.
Sounds bad, but
no, that's how it should be. Because at the end of the
truth,
day,
shit's the truth.
This is true. Excuse me, this is true what I believe in, because him and I talked about it. You can't make such an egregious offense and think you're gonna walk out of here without me getting something from it. Like there is like no. Just no. Like I don't know how else to put it, but no. And then people who live in New York, especially super duper liberals who support these stupid ass laws, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, who are the people you're supporting? All these high fucking, all the like, you know, the gun reform, gun control, whatever, right? Police on average have like a national response time of 5 minutes for an emergency, and it's 9 minutes for non-emergencies. I've wrestled, I've done jujitsu, I've played football. let me tell you something. In football, we're only hitting each other for like at most 15-second bursts.
Okay.
At most 15 seconds, you're fighting another man. And number Steve can attest. You're coming back to that huddle. You're breathing a little bit heavy, ain't you?
Yeah.
So all right. Because so in college, you know, I was a fullback when he came in. He was a running back, but it's funny. I got moved to fucking lineman. He got moved to fucking fullback, and it was a different vibe because he's hitting 250-pound men after every fucking play. I'm hitting 300-pound men after every play, and we're walking back looking at each other like, oh damn, we gotta run more.
Yeah. I want to give people context too, because I want to take too much credit so people know that Dean and I played high school against each other. Played in college together, and then I blew my knee out my senior year of high school. Never really fully recovered.
Steve
and
should have never played with us.
I ended up transferring out after like hurting my knee again in my it was my sophomore year. Transferred out, so I can't say. I mean, I did start a good game. 3/4 through the game again, I end up freaking not blowing out, hurting the knee again. So, but to your point, it's exactly true. It's like you're fighting somebody for 15 seconds, or even what it is. It's not even so that. Like, you know what? I got to pay homage to one person because I did it in the post. Davion Price. That motherfucker, rest his soul, and I say that in a compliment. He hit me so hard in practice once, made me just not even want to. You know what? I don't want to be a fullback here. I went from what Dean was saying. I went from a running back. That's what I did. And where we went to high school, you kind of had to do everything. You're playing both sides of the ball.
Of course,
you're on special teams. You're doing everything. And then when I had to downgrade just to one position, like worrying about one side of the ball, I'm telling you, it was a freaking joke.
Give me
a conditioning standpoint.
Give me 1 second for you. Give me 1 second for you, Steve. I'm about to do something for you. Let me tell you people something. Something. Who play ball? This motherfucker who's sitting on the screen with me is a baller. You understand me? He's a killer. He's a motherfucking savage. This is a man who, before I knew him, we played each other before we even knew who the fuck each other was. And he was the middle linebacker. And this was back in the day. You ran a 4-3 defense. You had two D tackles, two defensive ends, a strong middle linebacker, and you had two outside linebackers. Steve was the fucking stereotypical white linebacker that all black schools never wanted to see. He was that
You're
guy.
Right. You're right. You're fucking right. You're like, you know what? I'm the one not standing still. My feet are chopping. I'm stemming here and there. I'm like constantly moving around.
And I'm the sitter. And I'm the sitter. And at one point, Steve and my I think it was like every play. Me and Steve were fucking trying to kill each other. And then it was funny because Steve was so moving around so much in my head that I wasn't even caring about the plays at one point. It was like, I got to just, it just, somebody's got to die. It's so fucking wild because I played him sophomore year. He was a freshman. And then I got to play him when he was, the other years afterwards, because you played on varsity when you were a sophomore, right?
Yeah. So we got to play. I'm not sure. Yeah, we played that year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I played you when you were a sophomore, then I played you when you were a junior. And then when I found out, because of the injury, that you may be coming to Hartwick, it was interesting to me because I was like, oh, we got a ball. I remember I was going to the coaches. I was like, we got a baller, son. I was like, I'm telling y'all. I said, I don't know. I said, because you think, I said, yo, don't put this big motherfucker at full. Let this nigga run, B. Like, let this Jewish Italian and we lived together. And it's funny because I was talking to Los, and I was like, actually, I was talking to Justin about it because I told Justin a few stories that you told me. One story about your house, your mom, and then something that was there, and she asked you if you ever saw it. I'm not gonna repeat it now on air, but you should probably be able to guess what I'm talking about. You walked down the stairs and your mother said, have you ever seen so-and-so? And you were like, no. And she goes, look on the table. So I'm talking about that. So I was telling Justin that story about you.
Oh,
yeah.
How do you remember this shit from every pot you smoking? And I'm damn, like, I don't even remember. Like, what the fuck? There's no way I would have recollected that on my own.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put it out there because there's nobody's business. But I was talking to Justin about it, and I was like, yo, this, like I said, he was, for someone in that level, was so fucking chill. Like, motherfuckers, I said, like, I'll explain to him the brawl that happened. The brawl, it's funny. It's funny. All right, so let's have this conversation because there's a lot of people who listen who didn't go to school with either one of us, but they did go to Hartwick. And they know me, and they know of you. You know what I'm saying? Because they're from Alpha Sig. The night that made Dean a legend was the night that Dean got guns pulled on him. That's the night that this motherfucker was there. I don't know if you remember this when we rolled up. Now, let me give a backstory. So I'm a sophomore. He's a freshman. We live together. Steve has a car. He was really generous with the car. Like, if I ever needed it or needed to go somewhere, do something, he was like, yeah, go use the car. Like, I would be taking bitches out on dates with Steve's car. Putting the auxiliary cord in, living my best life in that white Jeep van Cherokee.
Oh,
I'll never forget that bitch. What? Oh, that nigga, what? Me and Adia had so many nights. Oh, I'm pretty sure I got head in your car. I'm pretty sure. So I'm not saying with Adia, but I'm pretty sure I've got head in your car. I'm pretty sure I was like a bull. So, yeah.
Damn.
I'll bring it back. So I don't know if you remember this. So this is 2 times, but I'm talking about the second time first. I was at the crib, chilling there. And for some reason, I didn't go out. I don't know why I didn't go out, but I didn't go out there. I was like, I don't feel like going out. I'm tired. I think we were just fighting so much. And I was like, I'm just tired of fighting niggas. I just want to have a weekend where I don't fight nobody. So I stayed in. And I was playing the Xbox. I think you had an Xbox. I didn't have a video game system. You had the Xbox. All I had was a DVD and a whole bunch of DVD, like, you know what I mean, whatever like that, and the cable shit. So I was playing Xbox on your Xbox, whatever the case may be. You came back. I don't know. I don't even know why. To this day, I don't know why you came back that early because you shouldn't have been back there. You come back. We're chilling, whatever. I think I was drinking the night in the room, just on some by myself, just playing video games. We get a call, but wasn't drunk. We get a call. I get a call, excuse me. Yo, whatever. One of our brothers got jumped. We got a code red. And I remember talking to you. I said, yo, I got a code red. We about to fight so-and-so. And I remember you just was like, I don't like so-and-so anyway. I'm going with you.
Oh, God. I'm trying to remember. To be honest with you, like I said, like, it's like a little bit of remembering, but
let me tell you. I'm gonna have to drop it. So we were fighting across from the mayor's office. Excuse me, not from the mayor's office, the mayor's house. Remember that? We drove to Alpha Sig first.
Yeah.
We picked up Heater. We picked up Satchel. We picked up Saeed. Excuse me, I picked him up. We all walked over together. Saeed.
Fucking Saeed.
It was you. It was like only 5 or 6 of us. And we were going to this house because Delta had jumped Heater. Remember?
Yes.
Mr.
And there was a Heater.
And I'm not gonna talk about the people that we were going against. I don't want to get no future lawsuits when motherfucker get big. But we were going against some people, and there was one person in particular you did not fucking like. Now, for anyone who wants to know, whenever we had any problem, Steve always helped us. He may have not been in the physical altercation, but there was some way that he helped us in something. But when he was like, nah, I'm going with you on this one, I was like, oh, it's lit. I remember forgetting hitting the boys. I was like, yo, I'm coming in with so-and-so. We can't talk about fraternity business with him, but we could talk about anything pertaining to this. He's got to go. I'll take any responsibility. We go in there. We go down that house. We're calling people out. They pull. Because remember, I was the only one who walked in the house.
Now it's starting to click.
I walk in the house by myself. They pulled the whatever on us. I said, yo, you can bring your toys outside. We just want him to fight him one-on-one.
Yep.
They didn't want to do it. Saeed spit on somebody, threatened to hit him with one of my Delta beating sticks. Remember, I had like 2 of them back then.
Oh my God.
We lived together. I said, yo, somebody come in here, you take this stick and you fuck them up.
The Delta beating stick, like you said. If anyone's watching, you know we're way past that shit.
We're way past that now. But back then, that was a real thing. And fucking, it was amazing. Like, that was the night that cemented my legacy. And then because I just was like, I got guns pulled on me, and I was like, what's that supposed to mean? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. That doesn't mean anything to me. I've had guns pulled on me when I was in high school a few different times. So let me just say this. I know how to deal with it, and I could take your shit. I'm going to leave it at that. I could take your shit and have the flip the whole situation. If you can't pull a gun on somebody who can grab it and knows what to do in the situation, I'm not scared. So when they did it, I just was like, put the toy away and fucking let's talk business.
Yep.
But they didn't do it. Saeed spit on somebody. You were out there calling motherfuckers out. Had to. This is back in the day when you were like the 5'10", 5'11" John Cena. Like yo, this is back in the day when fucking my roommate as a freshman. Cause I'll never forget looking at him one day. We were just changing. We worked. It was because we worked out. I don't know if we worked out together or we had you worked out. I don't know what happened, but I remember we both were changing. We were gonna go to the showers. I remember looking at you, and I remember just being like, not on no attractiveness thing. Just looking at you, being like, that makes no sense. Your body composition, your fat to body ratio. The fact that you are 230 pounds with a V-neck, with a V at 235 pounds at 5'10", I remember looking at you just being like, you're a problem, bro. And you just being like, yeah, I know. And just walking in, and it just like fucking showering with your fucking assuming football. You should just down the hallway.
We were bred like that from high school. It's funny because the reputation of my high school, I always think we were on steroids. It's just the weightlifting program we had. It's just like, hey, see, you still calling bullshit.
Listen,
it's just crazy.
Listen. The niggas in John Elliott class.
Dude, no, you see, those were different people. Those are just all different types of people. So, long story short, for the people, it's just like me and you met my freshman year of high school. His sophomore year, he's a year older than me. It's because the way our schools are structured is the JV usually plays right before the varsity on the opposite team's field. So if it's a home game on, let's say, Dean's field, the JV played on my field. Yep. So we played the game. So we played people. We knew of each other. And then we were at
each other's faces. Yep.
Yes. So like we knew each other. I mean, constantly because he's the one trying to kill me. Like everything.
Let's not act like okay. This is one of the one times Dean can say, this is one of those situations, people, and I don't care if whatever you do, you have somebody like this. This was a situation where Dean was giving it as good as he got it because I was not. There's a lot of situations where I was just dominating a game. I had to really block Steve Katz. You had to take the right angles and you had to be ready to fight because he was willing to die. So it wasn't that like Dean was just like doing whatever the fuck he wanted to, because I would tell you if I was, but I had to work for this shit. So no, so I like it was a warrior because I remember after the game, I very rarely will ever go to somebody and be like good shit. But I remember like I think I gave you a hug in the line. I was like, you're an animal. I remember just be like, you're an animal.
But like I feel like what you're just saying, I feel like the world needs a little bit more of that. It's like that competitiveness. We fucking hated each other on the field, but that's on the competitive nature. It's just like you're good, I was good, you're pushing each other, like we're having a battle. And just so people know, he wasn't like this all the time. Like you had to be like $170 at that point. Like what are you even doing on the line, bro? Like what? It's just because the mindset this guy had, this motherfucker had, he was so violent. So I mean, the only
thing I could be good at.
And we joke to this day, even like we played again as we got older and when we were on varsity, that he said like I was trying to kill. He's like, honestly, I was trying to kill you. Like every time, like I was trying to blindside you, but you always were your head on the swivel. You're always looking because I was always quick off the ball on a reaction. So like, and you verbally said that to me. I mean, and I gotta admit, like that team, that had to be the best team you guys had ever that I've ever seen. Was that your senior year? I'm like, holy shit! Like, no, I don't care. Like, if he watches this at all, I don't know how much you keep in touch with him. Terrell was a fucking athlete and a half. Like, I won't remember like this guy, and like I was a bigger dude too. Even in a junior year, you were a
different fucking like you're different.
But that guy just beyond me. And then also, God rest his soul too, McClinic, if I said his name right.
Yeah,
like he was a hell of an athlete. And there's so many plays that I remember against him, but like Terrell was like, there's no way. It's just like he was a big dude and so slippery. And I still remember this day, we're going into the second half, right? I think it might have been the last play. You guys did a bubble pass to him out of the backfield. I'm like, I am licking my chops because I have the angle. I lined him up. I'm like, I'm gonna kill him. I am gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna get him. And literally, I hit him. Boom! I stopped him in his tracks, backpedals a little bit, and I just start sliding down to the point that I had the back of his jersey with one hand. I am fully on the ground on my back. I'm like, I lined you up. I am not letting go for the rest of my life. And then somebody that you know came, Herb Forrest, fucking cleaned him.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It still wasn't a bad cleanup because this guy, you couldn't clean him up.
Of course. Yeah.
He was solid. Solid. I mean,
you know what's crazy about Terrell in high school? Yep. He barely worked out.
You see, I hate that. Hold on. You know what? I want to say something here that it's actually, I feel like it's almost relevant because I feel like there's so many conversations with racism and sports. It's just like when you share a locker room and people are witnessing our relationship now, it's just like, I'd do anything for you. I'd take a bullet for you.
Absolutely.
It's because when you get run through the mud and deal with the shit with one another, you build this bond that you can't break. You love each other in the sense of that. Oh my God.
Yo, let me tell you something though. In regards to you, because I room with you and I live with you. And it used to, because you remember, we lived together. And once again, like, I'm not like, I became a lineman, you became a fullback. And people don't understand is that, like, Steve is, when I say, like, he's a different dude, but not for nothing. In my own defense, I actually, from age, I should have graduated your year. My mother just put me in school early because she was sick of me being at home. She was like, "Why is this motherfucker?"
Oh, damn.
No, you know what's crazy? My mother, and it's funny. This is why I don't have any. I don't care about people's excuses because my mother and my father, no matter what, my father was a dick at times. He got better when he was older. My father was a dick at times. Never abusive or anything like that, but just was like he was out there and he was in a different kind of life. And trust me though, if I ever call my father, you're done, son. Like you're done. But like my mother wasn't playing that shit. So like my mother had me with tutors and shit like that. So she sent me to school a year early. I wonder, I can't lie to you. I wonder every now and then. I'm like, what would have happened if she would have kept me in my right grade? Because technically, I would have been a I may have not went to Hartwick.
1 year of a development change, I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. Like 1 year,
huge difference.
1 year.
Because you think about it, I would have then played my freshman year on JV. I basically would have had your track. I would have did the 3 years on varsity because I remember that year that we had the JV varsity scrimmage. I was killing niggas. And that it was funny because it was that game for me at least. Because every year Hempstead does a JV varsity scrimmage. But my sophomore year, our JV team was so good, they did it twice. They did it back-to-back weeks, and we were killing. And I'll never forget, it was at the end of the season, right? One of the coaches came up to me, and they said, "Yo, you know you're going to be starting next year, right?" I was like, "Huh?" They're like, "Yo, you're going to be starting next year." I didn't pay no attention. I still kept doing the workouts, still doing everything. And it's funny. We were doing the fucking, we were in camp or whatever the case may be. One of the other players had gotten hurt or whatever the case may be. Now, that was the question, was like, who's going to be starting, him or Hinton, him or Hinton, him or Hinton? He got hurt. Hinton got the job. Hinton never lost it. But according to the coach, I was going to be, I'll never forget during off-season workouts, coach came to me and said, "Yo, you're starting." And I'll never forget going to that guy. And I was like, "Yo, can you play guard?" And he was like, "Yeah, why?" I said, "Because I'm going to be starting at center."
Oh, God damn.
Yo, but then this was before I knew that I was a dickhead. Like it took God bless my homies Brad, God bless my homies Agu, God bless my homies Josh. Those three, no matter.
It was a Fulton?
Yeah.
I remember I follow him on social media.
Fulton, yo.
No, because all right, so I want to backtrack. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. It's just like how we knew each other because we were playing the JV game and our varsities play. So we were watching our varsity because that was a year my varsity was real good. Like we knew that they were going to go places. So we went to every game. And just because it was at your home field, you guys decided to go. And then we realized that my high school was beating the living shit out of yours. We're like, this is not even a game. So
we started playing football ourselves.
Yeah. So we were like literally tossing the ball, like me and the rest of our JV guys that came to watch it, and you and your guys, and it was like nothing happened. And we even played that morning. It wasn't even like anything like that. It's like it's wild. And then the other point I wanted to touch in on the racism thing is like, and I, you know what, I call a spade a spade. Of course. I come from just so viewers know, predominantly white high school.
Yes.
We did have a few players. We had this and that, but it was predominantly we were white. You predominantly African American school of at least the football players. So
no, we only had 2 white kids in the whole school.
Yeah, go to show. And tell them how many kids did you even graduate with, or just were in your graduating class, just to give people perspective.
So in my graduating class, there was only like maybe
bigger than mine.
Yeah, it was only like maybe 5 or 6, but what should have graduated was like 18, 19.
Yeah. Okay. So not even that. It was 18 or 19, 100 people. We had a class of like 450 to 500. So it's just like, you had a lot of people. But I gotta say, the one thing, even me personally, I don't even mind admitting something like this.
Yeah.
So when it's not racism on the football field,
no,
it's
just
not. Like we knew. Like you guys, you had the others. Like there's other schools in the area, and they're
we had to fight discipline.
Starting with the F.
You motherfuckers were disciplined. Absolutely.
Yeah, but the reason, like, when it came to training, things like that, it's just like, I never had time to even talk shit in the game because I was struggling to catch my breath from going to offense, defense,
because
freaking punting, all this shit.
Because you were balling. No. Let's
we had 33 guys on the team, so you had to do everything. You had
but fuck that. Yep. Because this is coming from someone who had to go against you on both sides of the ball. You and I think this is the reason why, like, it's funny because we became roommates in college and we never, like, we knew each other through sports. And I was like, you coming to Hartwick?
Yeah, I
need to live together. Yeah, I said, because like I can't live with my fraternity brothers. Like they'll be too crazy. But like I can live with. Yeah. I don't even know you like that, but I can live. You and I have touched enough. And people who've never played football or played a contact sport, they don't know what I'm talking about. People who play a contact sport, they know. Him and I had touched enough over 3 years. Even though I didn't touch him at all his senior year. We had hit each other and tried to kill and do all kind of things enough that I knew. I said, I want to live with you. Because if I live with you, it's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. And if niggas try to come in here crazy, we'll kill them together. I like that.
Nope. The whole point is, I wanted to say this I just want to drill that point. Not a racist standpoint, but it's like when we're thinking, and it's so bad, you think stereotypes, right? You think black people. What are they stereotypical in sports as opposed to white people? Faster, bigger, more athletic. So in a sense, when I was doing training in the off season, things like that, and we're getting ready to play you guys, things like that, it's just like, that was motivation for me. Like you guys, it sounds so bad, you guys, but it's a compliment in the same side.
Yeah, I know
you guys are the baseline. It's just like, I need to get there and be better than that. I got to be fast. I got to be stronger. So a school like mine, so we know we ain't gonna be more athletic. We're not gonna be more agile. It ain't happening. So what did we do? We lifted.
But
so at least we're not gonna be beat by strength.
Bro, that's the crazy thing to me was because it was like, for us at least, it was like, yo, these motherfuckers are gonna come in big, yoked up, juiced up,
and you'll run circles around us.
And
like
we're just
nothing, but we're
just gonna have to break. Yo, so shout out to. I don't know if he's a continuous listener, but I know he does listen. Harlan motherfucking Abe House.
Oh, and hold on. If you say I'm on this, hey, that man, I love that man. That man,
was like I've never played with Harlan. Never played with him at all.
Hell of a teammate.
I can tell you this, as someone who's faced him, as someone who's hung out with him outside of things. Harlan is a fucking class act man. And
did I bring you to his house?
Yes.
I think we went once. We had a barbecue at his house.
You and I had a barbecue. We watched. No, I've been to Harlan's house twice. One time we went because we were just watching old film. And then, like, because I was telling Harlan, I said, yo, I got the better view a few times. He was like, no, you didn't. And we watched the film. I did get you a few times. I
Prove it.
did
Well,
get.
there you
Yeah, I
go.
said I did get you. So we watched it. And then another time I came over and he was just cooking, and he was like, "Yo, do you think when we go to college, because we were the same age, he was like, you think when we go to college, people pay for my food?" And I said, yes, because I would pay for your food. If you tell me I gotta pay $10 and I can eat everything I want the whole time I'm here, yes, motherfucker, I'll pay for your food. So it's and that's why I do conversations with Dean and when I'm on Black of the Berry and when I'm on anything. That's why I am the way I am, is because it's like, yo, you people who have, and when you people who have never stepped out of your comfort zone on either side of the fence and befriended somebody on the other side of the proverbial fence, excuse me, quote unquote, you don't understand the camaraderie that we're talking about. Like, yo, Harlan Avehouse was 6'2", 275, 280 pounds as a senior, and he was strong. I don't know his numbers, but I know he was strong. It was a treat and a joy when I was blocking this motherfucker being moved from center to guard, because it was like, oh, when I get a good block on you, I can submit this to colleges. And then if you fuck me up, I don't submit it to colleges. You'll submit it to colleges. But after this is all said and done, we're able to be talking. Like, it's funny because I think I talked to him like a few months ago, and we were talking about different workouts and shit I can do for certain things, whatever the case may be. Step out your comfort. Like, listen, America and Americans, true ones, we all are down for the same shit. Like, that's why I don't follow political lines. I don't follow your whole thing of like hating all white. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Will I talk shit about certain white folk? Of course I will. I'm black, duh. But if you want me to just blanketly disrespect these motherfuckers, I'm not going to do it, because I have people like this who, because like not you, because your temperament is different, but there are other people. I can't use this example. There are other people that I know that view people in a different, that view black people in a different way because of me. Because of me. There are people who are white who know that I view certain kind of white folk in a different kind of way because of them. That's because we're able to understand that America needs both of us. Like, let me tell you something. People, this is what I truly believe. I believe that people in power really don't like that people like Steve and I are friends. That's an issue.
Yep. Because they don't like this happening.
We've been in largely different tax brackets for a very long time. I'm not going to catch up to him for another few years. I will get in there, but it's going to take me a little bit. They don't like these conversations because we're able to find that we have more in common than different. You understand what I'm saying, people?
They also don't even want us to lift each other up.
Oh, like, God, no.
That's the worst part of it. It's just like, why is this divide happening so like aggressively? It's just like, and then people who take it for the face value, and that's the problem. You got to step back and see what they're doing. I know we're going completely off topic, but it's so relevant.
Steve,
even in this world,
conversation with Dean. We do whatever the fuck we want. I'm just gonna send it to Elos to have him cut the bitch. We do whatever the fuck we want. Go ahead and talk, man, player.
It's just that's what I'm seeing. Like I tell you things that when I see and it offends people. I feel like for some reason it became a racist thing when somebody says facts over feelings. It's just like, wait. I mean, like, an asshole comes in all colors. Like, you're black, you're white, you're fucking brown. I'm like, an asshole's an asshole. You don't judge it by the color of the skin. You judge it by their character and what they're doing. Just like, the line that MLK said. But and then you get pumped with the media and how they're trying to divide everybody. I'm like, and then with me and you were like, and I try, like, when I see shit, I'm like, I throw it at you. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? It's just like, how do people view this racism? And I told you about I'm not sure if there's any new advancements on the school in Portland, Oregon. We can always say Oregon itself is a fucking disaster and what's going on there. And everyone on the outside is like, I don't care what party you're on the outside, you're looking at what the hell's going on with the state. But then you're talking about where they said an evergreen tree had connotations of lynching. And like Stanford, you could say, all right, this well-known school, if you want to say predominantly white, whatever you want to say, but they have a tree as a mascot. We're talking about mascot. Did I lose you? You hear me?
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm
Oh, okay, the
listening.
headphones are dying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
But they're saying that connotations of lynching and an evergreen tree. It's just like
Mhm.
how what like what is happening? We can't even
It's
like it's
it's
more of like what the tree symbolizes, but I get what that means. But if people were like, and I even saw posts of people being technical, like if you want to be technical, an evergreen tree, you can't lynch somebody over the branches are weak. You can't. There's no
they're gonna
space at
break.
freeing.
There's a
But
because
it's still
and I think this is my issue
I
with the
can't.
left. They try to
Uh,
sensationalize everything, and you're sensationalizing things that has no reason to be sensationalized. What I mean by that is we that tree mascot was hurting nobody. The tree mascot never at any point in time showed that it was racist and it was hanging people. It was just a tree as a mascot. But the fact that we live in the day and age that now people are asking this question, it's counterintuitive because you know what, black people, it's the same reason why when I released the episode talking about what happened to Carson Navarro, the reason why I did not take the easy route of the race card because we would understand it, but our counterparts would not. You need to bring the conversation. I understand what you're gonna say. I shouldn't need to. Well, it is what it is. It's America. You gotta bring the conversation to a different realm so that way you're able to have the conversation in an impactful way. It does not matter if you're talking about something, even if you're right, when in a manner that no one is going to respect, understand, or agree with. That's the reason why I came at that argument in regards to civil liberties infringements. You see what I'm saying? Don't get caught in the normal song and pony dance. Rise above it. Meet them where they want to be met. So that when they do not meet us on that same platform, on that same level, when we then use the race card that we know is the reason for these actions, it is played in a way that is what is called in spades a trump card. You understand what I'm saying, people? Dean is going in a totally different manner, in a totally different direction, because the component of race is in everything in America. But a lot of white people will not understand that because of their position within America. You have to speak to them in a manner that they can understand. It does not matter if you're speaking in a manner that someone cannot understand. The same thing as love languages. Like the reason I believe that Justin and I work so well is because we do have two different love languages. We do. But we both know how to communicate with the other. You get what I'm saying?
That's the point of those love languages. You got to know which one, like just to your point on that, you got to know which language works for each one of you. That's how they accept that love. So I know exactly the hell you're talking about. So that's what you got to understand it.
Yeah, it's like you gotta break it down. So like when you're talking to people and you're trying to get a viewpoint, you have to meet them on their level. So let's not, black people, I'm challenging you because it would be easy for us. And when I say easy, because we can readily prove it. The reason that such and such happened was because of race. We can prove it that way, but we know that they're not going to listen to it that way. So meet them on their level. Meet them in a way so that it makes them say, hey, listen, either you're with this or you're with this. You understand what I'm saying? And if you listen to this, you've most likely already listened to my breakdown on civil liberties. People, open your minds. Don't get caught up in whatever you're into. The people on the other side can absolutely help you, but you have to meet them on their level. It's America. It's a spade to spade.
You know what? And I know off that, let me attack the white people.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm clipping this. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm just letting you know now.
We're fucking guilty. Like, what are you saying? And that's what people don't understand are watching this. It's like I see the bullshit on both sides. It's like, okay, what on the white people? What's the one thing that they say when they say, I'm just gonna put in quotes, black people crying out? It's they think that black people are playing victim, right? They always play victim. That's what the people on the far right are saying, victim, victim,
Right.
victim. But are you taking a step back to understand why they're saying that, where they're coming from? Like, that's what I hate to see. Things are so one-sided. It's like, all right, Dean, how were you raised? How did you come from? Your perspective on life is going to be much different than mine, but I'm not an asshole where I'm not going to take a step back and think how I believe the world to be from how I grew up. That's how it is for
Right.
everybody. I got to understand that you grew up the way that you did, and your decisions and how you think are based on that and where you came from and what you have
Right.
experienced. So that's what people got to understand. I'm looking on both fucking sides of it. It's just like, not everybody is just a far left, right, let me burn all the shit down. And not everybody on the far right is this proud boy Karen that we like to say now. It's not like that. It's like you have people that are in between, and you're looking at two of them right now. That's just like, you
Yep.
got to call a spade a spade. We are guilty. There's guilty people on all parties. It's like, when the hell do we eventually meet in the middle? Like, where does that come? And that's why I say I get freaking bombarded with people saying stuff about mainstream media, and that's where their main source. It's like, you really can't just base on that. It's like, you got to try to see all these other outside sources and kind of compile everything to make a compelling argument. It's just, I try to, any type of position I have some evidence or something to back it up. Like, if I'm trying to have any type of debate, and one thing I do want to touch, and even though it's irrelevant to the story and everything, but it's going on currently, is the George Floyd trials. I've been tracking it from start. So I'm seeing it from both ends. I want to see, okay, this is how everybody, the viewers know that I've been viewing it. I want to see the lawyers, how they attack it. I want to see how I pose how I attack it as I was the prosecution, and then how I was the defense. So the things that you see, if you're just like keeping track of like maybe like small Twitter posts or these clips on news, they're clipping what the whole testimony was of a witness. Like, you don't get the whole thing. Like, all right, so if you're listening to CNN, if you're listening to, if you're News 12 on Long Island, New York, wherever you are, if you listen to all these things, they're going to clip it to be making the prosecution look good. There's really no source that I really have seen yet that's actually defending the defense, because people are saying his murder was caught on video, right? So there's one thing I want to touch specifically on this is the video. There's a video that they were showing. The defense showed that Chauvin's knee wasn't on the neck the entire time. It was on his back, right? And then the prosecution always shows that he was on his neck. It's like they're saying camera angles, this and that. And I call bullshit on both. Anyone, this is why. Watch the whole clip. Everyone watch the whole clip. If you see the background when Chauvin's knee is not on the neck, it's true. It wasn't. Only when the freaking EMS, EMTs, whatever you want to call them, were on scene. Because if you see from a different angle on other clips, you saw that he shifted back on him to lift his knee up so they could check for a pulse, right? So that's the defense side, is at the very end of that whole altercation, saying, oh, his knee wasn't on there. Yes, okay, granted, it wasn't on there at that point in time. So like I said, I don't care how this trial goes out. People are so adamant about it, but then I see the prosecution. No, it was on his neck for the first four, and he only moved once EMT were there to try to check for a pulse. There's all different camera angles, but yet you don't see that. You're not going to see that on the news. You're not going to see that. But I can tell you, I saw the whole fucking thing, and if you're watching it, that's what happened. It's like, yes, he was on for, I would say, 98% of the time is on the neck, and then the last 2% he wasn't. It's like, okay, like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so biased in how they try to argue things. It's just like, at this point, I don't want to have any clips of anything. Like, if you want to show something, I want the full unedited clip with no like voiceover, nobody's saying anything. I want to watch it and come to a determination myself, because I'm not defending anybody in this case, but it's going to be so hard because they got to. I'm not sure if there's any statute that I'm missing, but everything's got to be beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm not sure if like the lower end charges have to be like that.
And that's
when they have the witnesses, though, this is what they're not showing. Like the witnesses are showing that, like, oh, like Tobin, that was one of the doctors saying like he died of this based on his respiratory rates and stuff like that and his breathing. I was able to tell he died from this. I'm like, okay, just being objective, you're standing back. How can you so conclusively from a video determine that somebody died of that when they have other issues going on? Because now that they introduced that there's drugs in the system, this and that kind of debunks, it makes it harder for beyond a reasonable doubt. Like, it's like, because if you're questioning, well, maybe, and they had one, like, I'm not sure like how official it was, but one of the medical examiners saying, you know what, if he died in his house, we would have ruled this an overdose. So it's just like, okay, this is not helping the prosecution, and you're a prosecution witness. So it's just like,
but you know what it is, though? I think when you The George Floyd thing is so.
This is good. This is going to be like a precedent set in this country on the outcome of this case. I don't care what parties are, because everyone's saying he was murdered on video, murdered. But you're saying like, but the way the court of law works, it's like you got to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Hold on.
Who's texting you?
Hold on.
Some breaking news? We have breaking news or what?
What? Yo! Hold on, people. So listen here. For people who don't know, I have got a text from one of my boys, the motherfucking Tags. He's getting fucking married. Hold on. Yo, son, I fucking just got your message. Congratulations. I'm currently recording with motherfucking Steve motherfucking Katz. I promise you, I'm going to call you after this. But congratulations to you. Congratulations to your future wife. Holy fucking shit. I am so proud of you. Good shit.
Who is this?
Fucking Tags. Tags getting married. Holy shit. It's fucking beautiful. It threw my whole thing off. Because usually like I would like, ignore certain texts. But when you get a text like that and you see the picture, you're like, hold on, let me see what the fuck is going on. I got to call him after. Holy shit, good for him. But back on your point. So
I know there's so many different things here. I'm like, you know what? I want to see how they present the facts. Like, that's what I'm saying. I sit there like, yes, the prosecution and defense, but what I mean is basically I want to sit as in the juror. Like I'm a jury member. I'm hearing all of this, the emotional testimonies, the thing that's heart-wrenching. It's sad to see someone die on video. It's no matter how you slice it. It's just that now, like the whole thing is when they say facts over feelings, it's just like, this is tough now. So are we worried about?
What you know what it is, my issue with law enforcement is that like one, why is it acceptable that you can sit on somebody's neck that you know they can't breathe? Like you as a law enforcement officer should be able to detain them.
My question to you on that note, though, I'm not defending anything.
Yeah, of course.
But you're an officer. You're usually hearing all these like not testimonies, but somebody you're trying to arrest. You always hear something or like an excuse for them try to evade it or get out of it. Like you say like this, oh, I can't breathe. But like this video saying he can't breathe before he was even in the car. And before he was even on the ground, like we're talking about 10, 15 minutes before he was even put on the ground. Right. So it's just like, but no, I agree with you. There's so much time where I got you. Use of force too. It's just like, but you as a human being, when someone is saying that to you as a human being, and you know that, and you start, don't tell me this is the one thing I want to say, because they're saying, all right, the one thing I want to say too, they're saying, I'm not sure if you saw the image that they show with the knee on the neck with the foot off the ground. Right. They're saying how much weight. But anybody knows if you're on the knees, you can shift your weight onto the right knee or the other knee. So how are you saying the amount of force? Like very specifically. But I mean, I don't really like care about that. But there's so many degrees of force as a human. You'll know, like even if you're on top of somebody, that they're not moving and they're starting to go lifeless. It's just like, at what point do you realize you get off? Like you're an asshole. Like this.
I think the issue is that with cops now, we've gotten to the point that we are okay with them disrespecting our civil liberties. And even the right who yells so much about it, you're okay with it because every time it happens to someone who doesn't look like you, you find an excuse to why it should have happened.
So, he's resisting, he's doing this, he's on drugs, it's this and that.
It's at the end of the day, we live in a society that acts like the government is against them, but then they love law enforcement no matter what they do, and we don't hold them to a higher standard because you're the trained one in this situation. The civilian is not. So the civilian should absolutely be trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. It's I think we're in a time and place where people aren't understanding that their constitutional rights are being infringed upon. Like with the George Floyd thing, that was different. But still, the fact that it took one officer to kneel on your neck, another officer to hold the crowd against you, and then you had two other officers sitting on him. Why? Like we don't pay you for that. Yep. You know what I mean? Like you get paid. You don't get paid to kill somebody off of a fucking cigarette charge. You know what I mean? And I think that's the issue that black people are having with white America. It's like you shouldn't die. Like white America, you, Steve, might not never die from some shit like that, but I could. You know what I mean? And the fact that we live in a society that doesn't, like, the right doesn't accept that, that's the reason that you don't get more minority votes. If you were able to call out the injustices in society, I guarantee you more minorities will be voting for you, because the shit that you're with, we genuinely are with as well. But the issue is that your character is racist. That's what we can't go with. And then it puts us in this weird situation that now you have left-wing media sources able to paint you as big racist devils because you don't do anything to fight the title. You understand what I'm saying, people? You gotta step your shit up. That's the only. Go ahead.
So the one thing I was gonna say, when in a circumstance like this, right? It's the white cops, black guy getting killed, or certain things like that. You have the people all the way on the right. First thing that they're saying, well, what did he do? Was he resisting arrest? Like, what was he doing? Things like that. Right. And it's like, and it's like, all right, if it's a white person, it's like, oh, it's sad. Like, that's the far. But like, I'm a person that's just like, all right, something happened. Like, this person was arrested or whatever. They were use of force was abusive. I don't care what color you are. I'm like, all right, what did they do? Like, now I say that for everybody. I am at least one thing I try to do, and I think I do a very good job. Is I'm honest on the whole situation, and I'm very objective. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter to me. Like, if you're a white person starting to fight off a cop, the sad part is we're talking about characters of police officers. Most likely, if you're a white person fighting off a cop, you might not get shot because you're white, but you're black. If you fight a cop, you might get shot. So it just depends. The officer you come across the day that they're having. But that's the one thing too. It's like, as an officer, you can't have your bad day being exemplified in your job. I'm sorry. And that's why you're getting paid. That's why you're getting these benefits that you do, and the health insurance and all the coverages and everything. And you are. Oh,
no, I'm sorry. I just got some shit saying that people out here being fucking disrespectful. I'm sorry. And then, of course, after I get that text, you get fucking goddamn tag saying, love you. Shout out to both of us. And fucking him and his girl that he's getting married to, they've been together for fucking years. Looks like they got he engaged in fucking like Nevada or shit. I have to listen here, people. I do not normally do this, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in my phone right now. I don't know what's going on. I have to stop this now to get a hold of what the fuck is happening in my personal life. I promise you this. I'm going to ask Steve right after we're fucking done when he's available. And we're most likely going to shoot sometime next week. The part 2 is coming out for this episode. Do not complain. Do not say shit to me. Suck my dick. Okay? It's coming out the following week, next week. I'm going to record with Steve and we will release the second episode. After that, the Geo episode is going to come loose. You understand me? Steve's episode's come out this Monday. If you listen to it, it came out on a Monday. His next episode will come out next week. The week after that, we have Geo. The week after that, I want to bring Mr. Henderson back on. I'm talking about Mr. J. Henderson. Yeah, I'm talking about the model. I'm talking about the guy that was on Power. I'm talking about the guy who happens to have an OnlyFans page right now. Oh, yes. This is what the fuck Dean does. Steve will be here next week. We will see you next week. But a lot of shit is happening in my personal life that I have to figure out what the fuck is going on. Shout out to Tags. Everyone else causing me grief. Holy shit, you assholes. You knew I was recording gold for the people, but I will not let you stop me. We'll be back next week. We'll finish out all my questions. Don't you worry. I am Dean. Crazy Number Steve. You got anything to say to people?
No, I'm going to continue where we left off.
We're going to continue where we left off. The only reason is because the goddamn Anchor machine will fuck your shit up, if you go over X amount of time. Let me tell you, people. Depending on how Anchor does this, it may be 3 episodes with Steve. So you may actually be on episode 2.
Oh, damn.
And then I say he's coming back. But guess what? I don't care. because I'm my own executive producer. I do what the fuck I want. I am Dean. That over there is Numbers motherfucking Steve. You motherfuckers know what this is. This is goddamn Conversation with Dean. We do what it is. I give you the information. I bring you guests to give you information. I am trying to help you help yourself. Peace, love, and motherfucking chicken. I am Dean. That is Steve. We are motherfucking out. Steve, you got anything to say to the people?
No, have a good one. We'll be talking about Biden's actual tax plan next time around.
Ooh.
Till next time, folks. Till next time.
Peace, bitches. We out.